W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at whmsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve. That's what we mean by treating you like family.
Your master's degree is as close as Shepherd University. Shepherd's graduate programs are perfect for working adults and will prepare you for the next step in your career. Choose from several degrees perfect for educators, an accredited MBA program, and a master's degree in Appalachian Studies. Visit shepherd.edu/grad studies radio to get started today. Finish your master's or pursue a doctorate in nursing practice. To learn more, visit shepherd.edu/grad studies radio.
It's time for the excitement of NCAA Division II football, featuring the Shepherd Rams and the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Today's play-by-play coverage is brought to you by Bechtel Jewelers, the Berkeley County Health Department, Brown Funeral Homes and Cremations, CMA Honda of Winchester, Hagerstown Ford, the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, and the Heffley Motor Company. Standing by is our TV10 broadcast team. So let's head to the field and get today's pregame show underway.
The Shepherd University Rams have won 22 conference championships during their 93-year history. But one thing that has avoided Shepherd since 2018 is a PSAC conference championship. Today the Rams play for the PSAC against the program that has won the most PSAC championships, IUP and the Crimson Hawks. Shepherd comes into the game undefeated at 10-0, while IUP is 8-1. It's the PSAC championship game, and we welcome you to George P. Miller Stadium here on TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. I'm Nick Verzolini. Alongside me is Travis Smith. And Travis, great matchup between these two teams. A historic program in IUP. Shepherd has been the dominant program in the PSAC really over the last few years, but just haven't, for whatever reason, been able to capture the East and win the conference. But this year, undefeated here in the conference championship game, one game away from being the number one team in the region as well. So a lot on the line in this PSAC championship, and should be a great matchup.
Especially you look at these ball clubs, they battled last year in that contest when Shepherd and IUP faced off. It was a 21-37 final in favor of Shepherd. But don't let that score fool you, because if you go back and look at that box score, it was really a nip-and-tuck game. It was a huge third quarter by the Shepherd Rams that really made the separation in order for the Rams to pull away with that win. But these are two teams that match up very well. Both teams coming off of a win. The Shepherd Rams able to defeat East Stroudsburg last week. They fell 14 points behind early on in the game, but the Rams have proven throughout this season that they are a very capable team when it comes to making adjustments and making those comebacks, particularly in the second half. They rattle off 37 unanswered points to get the win against East Stroudsburg. And then you look over to IUP Crimson Hawks coming off of a big win versus Clarion after losing a tough game versus Gannon. So you have both teams that have a lot of confidence coming into today's game. You know IUP isn't going to back down. They're playing at home in front of their fans, and the Rams have been used to coming to this place and getting wins. So you have two very talented football teams and a lot riding on the line today in this PSAC championship.
Yeah, definitely a lot on the line today. Obviously, the winner probably takes Region 1. That's how it typically goes. And Shepherd being undefeated, there's no other undefeated team in Region 1. So it's almost a lock at that point. IUP, probably a lock if you knock off the team that's currently number 1. But in terms of this matchup, you mentioned the East Stroudsburg game. In that game, Shepherd quarterback Tyson Bajan became the all-time Division II touchdowns leader, surpassing the head coach of East Stroudsburg, Jimmy Terwilliger, for the previous record. So pretty crazy day there at East Stroudsburg, part of a 400-yard, 5-touchdown pass day for Bajent. And the week just got better from there on out for Tyson as he was invited to the Reese Senior Bowl and accepted that invite. So he just continues to rack up all sorts of milestones. The one thing missing is a conference championship.
That will certainly be the cherry on top of his Sunday, and somebody getting that invite to a Senior Bowl like that. Again, it's just the body of work that he's put in, and he just brings a blue-collar work ethic to that position. A lot of times you look at that quarterback, he's kind of the superstar of the team, and not that Tyson Bajent isn't that superstar, but he doesn't have that approach to the job. He is a super hard worker. He's diligent about honing his craft, and he's gotten that reward by getting a chance to go and show his skills versus some of the very best in the country, and hopefully getting his number called when it comes to that draft in the NFL.
On the other side for IUP, led by grad senior Mac Sexton, a 6'1", 209-pounder at quarterback, and he's had a really good year. And you look at this offense, Sexton's leader at quarterback, DeJour Stort, a solid running back in the backfield. But the guy that stands out, I think, has to be number 3, wide receiver Dwayne Brown, a redshirt senior who has already 16 touchdowns this season, Travis. He's been a stud for IUP.
Absolutely, and he's versatile. He can run the ball as well, and in previous years was listed as a running back, but this year as a wide receiver, and last year earned all PSAC West first-team honors as a wide receiver, putting up monster numbers, 55 catches for 802 yards last year, 7 touchdowns, 4 games went over 100-plus yards. This year, doing even better. He has 66 catches, 1,045 yards, 16 touchdowns, also has 9 carries for 33 yards, 3 kick returns for 67 yards, 11 punt returns for 61 yards. I guarantee you, if you tossed him the keys, he'd probably be able to drive your team to the game, too. So he's an all-around threat on the football field for the Crimson Hawks.
All right, we'll take a 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, we'll hear from the head coach of the Shepherd University Rams. This is the pregame show brought to you by W. Harley Miller Systems, providing custom integration services like home and office automation, home theater networking, audio-video distribution, and more. Call 304-350-1931 or visit WHMsystems.com. We'll take a 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, we'll hear from head coach Ernie McCook.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars, too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC. You've put up with your water long enough. It's time for Sunset Water Services, your local water solution since 1989, to fix your water problems. Get better tasting, better smelling, and better looking water today. Say hello to drinking your own delicious water for pennies per gallon. Say yes to healthier skin and hair and to softer and brighter clothes. Sunset Water Services delivers your bags of salt to you, so they'll save your back too. And our products come with a 1-year satisfaction guarantee. Call 304-754-9031 for a free water quality test today. SunsetWater.com.
Heffley Motor Company, just off I-81 at 993 Hedgesville Road, is a family-owned and operated business providing the Eastern Panhandle with the highest quality pre-owned vehicles and customer service since 1997. Heffley is a pre-owned Carfax Advantage dealer. We're proud to be your partner, serving the community. You're local, we're local, so why not buy local? Call us at 304-267-7172 or see us at 993 Hedgesville Road. And if you want to sell your car, we buy cars too. Check us out at Heffley.com. Heffley Motor Company, a nice place to do business.
We welcome you back on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. We'll now get into our coach's interview, brought to you by Parsons Ford. They're located at 1400 Shepherdstown Road or online at parsonsford.com. They became #1 by making you #1 first, Parsons. We're now joined by the head coach of the Shepherd University Rams, Ernie McCook. Coach, a good win for you guys over East Stroudsburg. Team gets down 14-0. Was there any concern at all when you guys fell behind early?
Well, I don't think anybody likes to fall behind, but I felt we had some great leadership in our team, that we just needed to make a couple plays, put a drive together, and get that first score. And I think our kids responded. Nobody panicked. Everybody stayed locked in. It was a good day for us.
And it seemed like you said, once you guys got that first score, that really got the team going, and the guys kind of locked in for that one. And what did you like from the guys specifically after that first touchdown that really stood out to you?
I was really pleased how everybody settled in, offensively, defensively, and just started making plays in all three phases. It ended up being a good day for us. East Stroudsburg had a really good football team. They have good players, well coached. So all in all, I thought going on the road, winning in a big day with Tyson setting the NCAA Division II touchdown record against the whole record holder, I thought with all the distractions you have as a football team, I thought that that was a tremendous win for us.
What was that like for you to see Tyson get that record? You've been working so hard for it.
Well, I think it's awesome. I really enjoyed it, and I can tell you I'm probably one of the few people who have seen every one of those touchdown passes. Every one of them I've seen, and it's been an honor and pleasure, and I want to hope he continues to keep that up.
This week you guys head for the first PSAC championship in school history against IUP. I guess what does it mean to have that as part of your goals in the preseason and now to be in that point?
You know what, we're we set our goals. We want to win the opener, win the East, and play for the PSAC championship. We're going to play against a really good football team. The winningest program in Division II football, IUP. It's well coached. They got great players in all three phases. You go talk about their running back, their receivers, their O-line, their quarterback, their D-line, their linebackers, their secondary. All of them are really good players. They play extremely hard. They're well coached. We're going to have to play at a high level. We're going to have to execute at a high level to be able to be successful against a team like Indiana.
Anything stand out to you about this year's team in particular for them?
For them?
Yeah.
They're good everywhere. You could pick it out. Give me a number. Give me a position. I tell you they're good. They're a great football team, and I know we've got our work cut out for us. But, yes, they got a dynamic running back. They have a dynamic quarterback, two great wide receivers, a physical offensive line. I love their defensive line, and with their inside linebackers, what they do with that is very impressive. And their back end is really, gets after it and chases the ball down.
Coach, with a win, you guys would secure the #1 seed in Region 1, which I'm sure is another one of your goals. So
yeah, there's a lot of things that are on the line for this football game, in this football game. Obviously, I think the biggest thing is we want to win a conference championship.
And then last one here, Coach. Any update on Ryan Beach's status for the game?
Sure, I think he's getting closer, ready to go. That'll be a game-time decision.
All right. Thank you, Coach, and good luck this week.
Thank you, fellas.
That concludes our coach interview brought to you by Parsons Ford, located at 1400 Shepherdstown Road in Martinsburg, or online at parsonsford.com. They became #1 by making you #1 first, Parsons. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10.
Ollie's VIP North Side is the best spot to catch all your favorite teams. Join us Monday for Dollar Wings and Monday Night Football, Thursdays on the patio for the Cornhole Tourney, Friday night lights with happy hour specials, or Saturdays during or after the college games for steak night. Get a ribeye or New York steak for just $26.95. Ollie's has great food and drink menus too, along with 17 TVs to watch any game of your choice from anywhere at the bar or their outdoor patio and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP North Side. We'll see you for the game.
WVU Medicine is pleased to introduce 8 new providers at Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Centers and University Healthcare Physicians. Dr. Munib Malik, Nephrology. Neonatal Nurse Practitioner Antonia Montag. Dr. Janice McMillan, Endocrinology. Nurse Practitioner Kimberly Applegate, Infectious Disease. Nurse Practitioner Saba Ademe, Hospitalist. Certified Nurse Midwife Brianna Lilly. Physician's Assistant Skylar Sade, Family Medicine. Dr. Kelly Ash, Family Medicine OB. WVU Medicine, growing to meet the needs of our community.
Jambo Construction and Fencing Company, LLC is a veteran-owned and operated company right here in the Eastern Panhandle, West Virginia, that specializes in decks, fencing, and hardscaping. Find us on Facebook at Jambo Construction and Fencing to see more of the projects we've completed. For a free estimate, you can call Bo Bartley at 304-268-5452 or Jamie Gall at 304-279-5053. We are licensed and insured in the state of West Virginia, and as Martinsburg alums, we say, go Bulldogs.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve. That's what we mean by treating you like family.
Back to George P. Miller Stadium here on the campus of Indiana University of Pennsylvania. Nick Verzolini alongside me is Travis Smith here on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. Travis, we're about 16 minutes from kickoff. It's a rainy day here in Indiana, Pennsylvania. As the rain continues to fall down, it's expected to be kind of off and on throughout the day. We've seen Shepherd play in the rain on the road before this season when they traveled to Shippensburg, and it slowed them down slightly, I think, at times, but overall Shepherd executed pretty well in that game. And the ball bounced their way, too. They had a couple of fumbles that they were able to recover offensively, but how do you think the weather could play a factor here today against these two teams?
Well, if anything, it's going to put more of an emphasis on the Rams' running game, and that's something that they've really had success with so far this year, because you have a couple of running backs, and one in Ronnie Brown, who's had an excellent season so far, already gone over 1,000 yards so far, and also we have the young, emerging Blake Hartman putting in work. He has 49 carries this year for 367 yards and has been a nice complement to Ronnie Brown's running style, and that was something that we noticed early on in the year, is that the Rams have really started to lean a little bit more on that running game, taking some pressure off of Tyson Bagent, not having to shoulder so much of the burden of the offense. And one of the reasons you want to incorporate that run game is for games like this, when you're having to play in the elements, because the running game will always travel. So the fact that the Rams have already invested that in their running game so far this season, I think that they're well suited to try to come out and really maintain that potent offensive attack, because they have a running game that they can rely on. And, of course, that's going to wear down the defense and set up the play-action pass for Tyson Bagent.
Let's talk a little bit about these two teams' defenses, Travis. We've hit a lot on the offense here early on. We'll start with IUP, a team led by grad student Connor Kelly at inside linebacker. Have some big defensive linemen as well, and Runya Mitchell and Gregory Moore there on the interior of that defensive line, which could give Shepherd some issues, because while Shepherd has a well-built offensive line, it's not the biggest necessarily. I mean, when you compare to some of the other Division II schools, they're pretty big up front, but you're going up against 308 and 319. That's some beef on the inside that the Rams will have to do a good job up against.
And you talk about that the Rams' offensive line, they are well built, but they're well built for a specific purpose. They're well built for a zone run game. They're not an offensive line that's designed for big maulers that are going to blow people off the ball. What they do give defenses trouble with is that they're very skilled, they have a high football IQ, and they're very athletic, and they're very good as far as climbing up to that second level and gobbling up linebackers. And you mentioned the good one for the Crimson Hawks, and Connor Kelly, coming over from Edinboro, and this season leads the Crimson Hawks with 63 tackles, 34 of those solo, but he'll also get in the backfield. He has 9.5 tackles for loss, 2 of those including sacks. And then you look up front with the big man, Runya Mitchell, 6'5", 319-pound redshirt senior, already on this year. Very active for a big man in the middle, 34 tackles, 13 of those solo, 9.5 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, also has an interception. And we saw what a big defensive line can do with that Rams front when you go back to that Cal PA game. Cal PA had a couple of big defensive tackles, and it wasn't so much that they were able to get pressure themselves, but what they were able to do was occupy those offensive linemen, so when Cal PA decided to blitz those linebackers, they were able to run through free lanes and get a lot of pressure on Tyson Bagent. So that's going to be something to look out for today, is how much attention that those Rams offensive linemen are going to have to pay attention to Runya Mitchell, because he's going to demand a double team every single time. And can the Crimson Hawks take advantage of that by blitzing a linebacker through an empty gap?
And I think it's interesting when you see, or you take a look at these two teams' defenses and how Shepherd's defense is built completely different. They rely on their speed less than their size. Their biggest defensive lineman there is Journey Dunbar, who's 6'3", 307. I mean, that's more of a true nose tackle type build, but the rest of the D-line is quick, and they are able to get after the quarterback, in particular Malik Holloway and Kyle Smith off the edge. And then the rest of the defense, it's really all about the speed, and Grantham and Devin Lynch, who have just been tremendous linebackers, and of course the secondary has played well despite being very young.
Again, a ton of athleticism and strength in that linebacking core. And you mentioned the size up front. It is a little bit more size than what the Rams have had in years past. You mentioned Journey Dunbar. You look at his stat line, it's nothing that really jumps off the page at you. 17 tackles, 11 of those solo, 2.5 tackles for loss. But what those big defensive linemen do, like we mentioned for IUP, those big defensive linemen, what do? They're going to occupy at least 2 offensive linemen. And when you have those speedy linebackers behind them, and they're able to make those plays sideline to sideline. So Journey Dunbar, his role on the team is much larger than what shows up on the stat sheet because he's really giving them a stout front there in the middle. And again, they have a couple 270-pounders that they can work in there. Again, not as big as what you have with IUP, but you're starting to see Shepherd. They're transitioning to a bigger front. They still have those speedy edge rushers and Malik Holloway and Kyle Smith. And there's going to be a lot of pressure on them to get some production done today because they're going up against a crew today that has only given up 4 sacks. IUP's front line has only given up 4 sacks. So Kyle Smith and Malik Holloway certainly going to have their work cut out for them today if they're trying to get into the backfield and get after the quarterback.
All right, Travis, let's take a 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, we'll hear from Shepherd Rams quarterback Tyson Bagent and defensive end Kyle Smith. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Happiness grows here all through the year. Holiday shopping is such fun, fruity gifts for everyone. Happiness grows here. Orr's Farm Market.
Christmas at Orr's Farm Market is right around the corner, and there's so much to do. Arriving November 18th, Orr's Farm Market will have fresh-cut West Virginia-grown Christmas trees and the return of our popular hot cocoa bar on Fridays and Saturdays. Country Christmas is what we do best. Visit our farm market for the best West Virginia apples and lots of gift items. Our bakery is also cranking out the best pies and desserts you can imagine. Check out our website at orrsfarmmarket.com or like us on Facebook to learn more about our live nativity and Santa visits. Remember, happiness grows here at Orr's Farm Market.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve. That's what we mean by treating you like family.
Think you are too busy working to earn your degree? Think again. Shepherd University is now offering online degree programs. You can earn a master's degree online in curriculum and instruction or a Master of Business Administration. And registered nurses can complete their BSN online too. Learn how to take the next step in your career at shepherd.edu/online radio. Earn your MBA or Master of Arts in Curriculum and Instruction. Learn more at shepherd.edu/online radio.
We now go in the huddle, brought to you by the Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors, John Everson and Phil McCoy. Stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg or call 304-263-4343.
We now go in the huddle with Shepherd Rams quarterback Tyson Bagent. Tyson, big win for you guys over East Stroudsburg. Team gets down 14-0, but you're able to come back and pull away. What'd you take away from that win?
Yeah, I think, that was the first time this season where we've been in a situation like that, and I thought as a team and as an offense, as a unit, I thought we were able to stay level-headed, stay calm, and then able to gradually put points on the board each time we got the ball.
And in the win, you became the all-time leader in touchdowns for Division II college football players. So what does that mean to you, and also to do it against the coach that held the record before as a player? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think more than anything, it was really cool to be able to do that, for it to be the situation that it was. I don't know, the odds are probably pretty crazy with how everything happened in front of, Coach Terwilliger and him having had the record for so long. But I think more so it's just a testament to Shepherd football and what we've been able to accomplish since I've been here. Testament to all the guys on offense that have helped me, as well as my family who's guided me along the way. So it's more so for everybody else, and then just kind of cool that I get to be at the center of it.
Was there anything you were able to speak with Coach Terwilliger that you took away from speaking with him real quick after the game?
Yeah, he's a real, very, very nice, humble guy. He told me, he told me congratulations, told me I was the best, and I really appreciated how he acted, throughout that whole event. I thought he did it with class, and definitely respect that whole team and that whole organization for how they handled it.
And with that, it was a 400-yard passing day for you as well, 5 touchdowns, got you the player of the week in the conference. One of your better performances of the season, and it seems like over the last few weeks for you, efficiency-wise and completion percentage-wise, you've been on kind of a new level as of late. How do you think you've, grown as the season goes on? Does that have to do with maybe more chemistry with the wide receivers?
Yeah, I think it definitely has got to do with chemistry and just how long we've been able to be together, especially when you get late in the season, you're around these guys every day. So, eventually you just start to, click on all cylinders, whether you want to or not. But, other than that, it's just one of those, flow states that I'm in where things are kind of happening for us and not against us. And we just got to keep this thing, keep the momentum going, and keep staying efficient and keep being able to put points on the board.
And while we talk about everything that you've achieved in your career, one thing that still is yet to come is that conference championship. You have a chance to do that this week against IUP. How excited are you for this opportunity?
Very excited. Coming to Shepherd, that was something that they did. It was an annual thing for Shepherd, while I was in high school, to be able to win a conference championship, and we've yet to be able to do that since I've been here. So I know everybody on the team is excited. Everybody's ready to roll. Everybody's focused in practice and in meetings. The energy is a little bit different this week, and I just think that's that just plays a part with how big this game is and how big it is for Shepherd University. Since we've been in the PSAC.
What have you seen out of this year's IUP team? You guys played them last year, but what stands out to you about this year's team?
They're older. They're a good team. They don't hide what they do. They do what they do, and they have good players, and that's why they're successful. Coach Tortorella does a great job, leading his team and having his guys ready. So, they're going to be ready, but it's just, how much can we do preparation-wise to be the best team that we can be on Saturday? And I think we'll be able to answer a lot of those questions on Saturday.
Now go in the huddle with Rams defensive end Kyle Smith. Kyle, big win for you guys over East Strasburg. Get down 14-0 early, but then from that point forward, the defense gets a shutout. So what kind of changed for you guys defensively, do you think, after that early start?
I don't know. We definitely did get off to a bad start, shaky start. But, after those 2 drives, we were like, we didn't panic. It was the main thing. We didn't panic, and we just said, all right, let's play better. We're not doing our jobs necessarily, so let's just reemphasize just doing our job and not trying to do anything extra, not trying to help anybody out. Let's just do our job, and everything will fall into place.
You were able to get a couple sacks in the win as well, and continue to climb on the all-time sack list at Shepherd of 30 career sacks for you now. So what's, it been like playing this year and trying to get the double-digit sacks again for the season?
It's exciting. I'm a little bit aware of where I'm at in the standings, but that's not my main motivation really. I'm trying to help the team out as much as I can, and when it's third down and we need to stop, I'm just trying to pin my ears back, and cause havoc in the backfield as much as I can. It is pretty cool to be up there like that, but like I said, I'm here to just help my team out as much as I can.
And the defense this year, I think the concern heading into the season was that you guys were pretty young, besides you and a few others, in terms of experience on the field. How do you think this group has grown as the season gone on, and what were some things that you kind of helped them with to get better?
I think one of the things that I noticed early on was everybody was teaching everybody. Since we didn't have like the older guys, with Fox and Ponce and Chris, that knew everything. These guys were. Everybody was teaching everybody because they were all sort of on the same page together. So it really just everyone was helping each other out. Say, hey, this is what I saw in this play, or try this out, and things like that. And we were just all collectively trying to get better as a group. With me personally, being the oldest guy on the defensive line, I'm still trying to help guys out in that same manner. Trying to help guys, help them fix their eyes or their footwork or anything like that. Anything that I can help, just point things out to help, bring everybody along.
And a first for Shepherd football this week, playing in the PSAC championship game. What does that mean to you?
That's really exciting. Honestly, that was what I wanted to do this year. I was telling the guys, Coach Klein does a little thing where every camp the seniors come up and they give a little speech, things they learn, mistakes they've, corrected, things like that. And one of the things I said to finish out my little spiel was, it's like, I want to win a PSAC championship, so don't mess it up. So that's my main motivation here is, just to come back. We're the only non-Pennsylvania school in the conference, and that's something, that'd be really cool to, take away from the other teams, to be the first non-Pennsylvania team to win a PSAC conference championship, So it'll be, it's really exciting to, play in that game in that environment and against a great team, and I'm excited to play against some good competition.
What stands out to you about IUP?
A lot of things, honestly. They've got a great running back. They've got a great receiver, number 3. Their offensive line, they're returning most of their guys, I believe, except for their guard, one of their guards. So they do a lot of – the offensive line is really quick, laterally and things like that. So that's what we want to, keep from turning our shoulders and things like that. So we want to get penetration, and make sure that we're not creating cutback lanes for the running back. So – for me on the defensive line as a whole, as a box, we're trying to stop the run, make them one-dimensional, and then that way that we can, pin our ears back, like I said, and just try and create havoc in the backfield.
That concludes our player interviews portion of the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. When we return, we will have more. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
We welcome you back to George P. Miller Stadium. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith, our crew this afternoon. Spencer Dupuy, our on-site producer. Braden Schaffner, our cameraman. And back in the studio is Colin McLaughlin. Travis, let's get into our keys to the game, brought to you by the Heffley Motor Company, located at 993 Hedgesville Road in Martinsburg. You're local, we're local, so why not buy local? Spencer Dupuy, our on-site producer, rides with them, so you should too. Travis, what are your keys to the game? We'll start with Shepherd, and then we'll move over to the home team, IUP.
All right, looking at Shepherd, one thing that they're going to have to do is limit big plays on special teams. IUP has a lot of talent in their return game, punting and kicking return and kick return. So something Shepherd's going to have to do is limit those big plays on special teams, because pure momentum plays, and that's something that they can't afford to let this home crowd get involved in the game. Also, Shepherd, they're going to have to establish that run game early, make that IUP defense honor that run, so they're not going to be able to drop everybody back into pass coverage. And another thing Shepherd's going to have to do, they're going to have to get after the quarterback. Like we mentioned earlier, IUP has only given up 4 sacks so far this season, so Kyle Smith and Malik Holloway really going to have to pin their ears back and work hard and be determined to get after the quarterback today. And also, for Shepherd, they're going to have to protect the quarterback. IUP has 26 sacks on the year, so you know that they're really going to be trying to get after Tyson Bajan today, because you don't want him having a lot of time back there, because he can pick you apart. And the Rams defensive backs, they need to keep their eyes out of the backfield and nothing big over the top. We mentioned there's a lot of talent out on the perimeter for the IUP offense.
Yeah, it's a talented team, and it was kind of funny when you're talking about the special teams. It reminded me of what Coach McCook was talking about to us in the pregame interview, which is essentially that IUP has guys all over the place. You name a number, and he's a good player. Pretty much what Coach was saying. Did you get the keys for IUP as well?
IUP, I think they're going to have to take advantage of good field position, because Shepherd has shown that they're going to take a cautious approach, that they're not going to try to kick the ball deep on kickoff returns if you feel that they can get a good return against them. So they're going to do pooch kicks, which is going to mean that IUP is going to have some good starting field position, but they're going to have to take advantage of it. Also, IUP, they're going to have to continue to be extremely efficient in the red zone. They've connected 85% of their red zone trips so far this year, so they are very efficient inside the red zone. Also, important for the Crimson Hawks today, they're going to have to stifle the Rams' run game. Right now, IUP only allowing 82 yards per game on the ground. That's pretty stingy, but they're going to have their hands full today with Ronnie Brown and Blake Hartman. And also for that Crimson Hawks defense, going to have to rise to the occasion on third downs. They're going up against a Rams offensive unit that's nailing nearly 50% of their third down conversions. So 54 for 110 on the year. That's pretty tough. It's going to be tough for that Crimson Hawks defense to get that offensive unit off of the field on third downs.
All right, IUP will kick it from left to right to the Shepherd Rams. Our opening kickoff is brought to you by Orr's Farm Market. Family-owned, family-grown. Happiness grows here at Orr's Farm Market, located at 682 Orr Drive in Martinsburg. The Crimson Hawks will kick it deep. The Rams are back with two return men back there for Shepherd. As Nick Anderazi will kick it away for IUP. And we are underway at the 2022 PSAC championship game. Ronnie Brown will field it about the 5-yard line. There goes Ronnie up the middle. Ronnie bounces to the outside and now is forced out of bounds at around the 25, 26-yard line. That's where Shepherd will take over. It's interesting. IUP won the toss, elected to defer. Travis, for me, I would never want to see Shepherd's offense on the field, so I would always take the first kickoff.
Well, a couple schools of thought going into it. One, it's a big game, so you realize that your guy's going to be nervous, a little bit tight, so you really don't want to waste your first offensive possession going out there and you're really not in a rhythm. You want to get your defense out there, try to get them settled down. Plus, you also want that extra possession in the second half.
Yeah.
The Rams have shown that they are a very good second half team, so take away that one possession from them.
Agent throws, and it's nearly intercepted, intended for Max Fisher on the play. Broken up by Jaheim Howard, the safety. Redshirt sophomore crashing in on that one. And that's a good point, too. You're expecting a close football game between these two teams today, so that second half and a chance for those back-to-back possessions could be huge, but there's a lot of football.
I agree with you. I want the ball first. I want points on the board. I want to get my defense the lead.
Tyson Bajan takes a snap here on second down and 10. Throws it incomplete. Intended for Brian Walker, but he was unable to make the catch. Good coverage on the play for IUP's Nazir Taylor. And it'll be 3rd and 10 for the Rams.
Well, like we mentioned, the Rams have come out tight early on. RPO action on that first play, nearly picked off. On that play, another RPO-style play. Walker puts the ball on the ground. So you put your offense out there first. They're going to play a little bit tight. And you hear this home crowd is getting involved early on.
So 3rd and 10 for the Rams. Bajent takes the snap. Has time really all day to throw. Throws underneath. Complete to Ronnie Brown. He spins out of a tackle at the 30, but is brought down after spinning out by Taylor again. In back-to-back plays he's been involved, and Shepherd will punt. And another thing, Shepherd got off to that slow start last week, got down 14-0. That was to East Stroudsburg, not one of the better teams in the conference, even though they've been competitive against some good teams. But IUP, if they get a 14-0 lead, you might have to worry if you're Shepherd.
Absolutely. A good football team, you cannot spot them 14 points and expect it to turn out in your favor. But, I mean, you want to look at it from the Rams' perspective. You get that first drive out of the way. Now the jitters are gone. Now you can go out there and make your adjustments, and that second drive you can expect to have more success.
Barrick just barely gets the punt away. It's fair caught at the 34-yard line.
Very good field position for the Crimson Hawks offense.
And let's take a look at that Crimson Hawks offense led by quarterback Max Sexton, the grad student. He's come in and he's done a really solid job, Travis, of bringing some stability to that position. Last year they kind of went in between two guys. They had an injury when they played Shepherd, and that kind of helped lead to the Rams' big win. But it's 1st down and 10 here for the Crimson Hawks. Sexton in the offense on the field from the 35.
Sexton, a transfer from Pittsburgh State, located in
Kansas. Not Pennsylvania. Here's a pass complete underneath, and it's a big hole for IUP. On the reception for the Crimson Hawks appeared to be Daniel DeBar. Or
Diebner. Daniel Diebner. Just a bubble pass to the guy. It was a bunch formation to the right. And all it really wasn't a read or anything. The quarterback just gets the ball, throws it right out to that bubble, and he's a bigger body out there on the edge. They have him listed as 6 foot, 182 pounds, but look like he's bringing a little bit more to the party than that, and he was able to break a couple tackles and pick up a big gain on first down.
Sexton will hand it off to DeJour Stewart. He's got a big hole to the outside. Stewart is close to the first down marker before he's forced out of bounds. Devin Lynch in on that tackle for Shepherd.
And DeJour Stewart could be a huge factor in today's game. Coming in, averaging 5.5 yards per carry, 7 touchdowns on the season. Had a monster game last week versus Clarion, had 123 yards on the ground.
Quickly, IUP has moved it to the 41-yard line, first down and 10 for the Crimson Hawks. Stewart remains the back here on 1st and 10, lined up directly behind Sexton in the backfield with a 2-receiver set. Debnier goes in motion. They'll hand it off to Stewart, another good hole, but it's closed quickly. Nice job by Dante Harrison to force it back inside and allow Lynch and some of the linebackers to come over and make that tackle.
Tough running that time by Stewart. Looked like he was stopped in the backfield, but a second and third effort is able to make a little bit of something out of what initially looked to be nothing.
Second down and 8 after the 2-yard pickup. 12:20 to go in this opening quarter. Shepherd IUP here in the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference Championship game at George P. Miller Stadium in Indiana, Pennsylvania. Stewart remains the back. 2 receivers to the far side. Now a man goes in motion. Sexton hands it off to Stewart again. Is stopped initially by that big D line, but then he bounces off of his own man and falls forward for a few. Will bring up 3rd down. Looked like Kyle Smith might have been the one to trip him up.
Stewart running behind big left guard John Robinson, 6'2", 285-pound grad student. That was the first time that the Crimson Hawks looked to really test that interior defensive line. So far, they've had a lot of success running off tackle, but right now, their first big test of the game, 3rd in a passing situation versus this Rams defense, and they're built for these kind of situations.
3rd and 6, the Shepherd fans that made the trip are on their feet on that far sideline. A good crowd for this PSAC championship game despite the rain. And it looks like we got a timeout taken by IUP. So we'll take a 30-second break. It is no score with 11:15 to go in this first quarter. We're back in 30 seconds on the other side of this timeout.
With Honda, every summer adventure is the destination. Take your adventures even farther with Honda, America's most fuel-efficient full-line automaker. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 2.9% APR on a 2022 Honda Civic and a 3.9% APR on a 2022 Accord or 2023 HRV.
CMA's Honda of Winchester, 3985 Valley Pike. CMA, moving lives forward.
See dealer for financing details. Exclusive SI based on EPA estimate of MY20 full-line automaker fleet-wide fuel economy 2021 EPA Automotive Trends Report.
We welcome you back to IUP. No score between Shepherd and the Crimson Hawks. IUP has it in Shepherd territory to the 37-yard line. It is 3rd down and 6 for the Hawks. Sexton in the shotgun formation. Sexton with a 4-receiver set, and he'll look to throw. Fires, nearly intercepted by Keyshawn Haley. A great break on the football. Pass intended for Grant Smith, but it fell incomplete. It's 4th and 6, and it looks like IUP is going to go for it. Stewart is the back here on 4th down and 6 now with 11:11 to go. After Keyshawn Haley broke up that last pass attempt from Sexton. Sexton throws to the far side. It's a floater, but it is caught for a first down. There's Debnier again with the reception. Dante Harrison in coverage for the Rams.
And not sure why Harrison was playing that far off. Like you mentioned, it's 4th and 6. And Harrison gave him a big cushion on the outside. I understand that you don't want to get beat deep, but they're looking for a first down on that play. You gotta guard the sticks on that one. That's a little bit of situational awareness that time. And Crimson Hawks able to come up with a big fourth down conversion.
That pass took a long time to get there, too. And here's a little play action from Sexton. Takes a shot toward the end zone. Incomplete. Two men in coverage there, and Harrison as the pass intended for Hilton Ridley. And it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 10. That's a good time to take a deep shot there on 1st down after picking up the first. But going back to that 4th down play, Harrison, as you mentioned, was playing off. And not only that pass took a long time to get there. If he was on the receiver, he probably is there to break it up. But 2nd down and 10 was Stewart in the backfield. And they will run Stewart off the left side. It's a big hole. Slips off one tackler, and then he's pushed out of bounds on the far side by Keyshawn Haley, about a yard shy of the 1st down. Will be 3rd down and 1 for the Crimson Hawks.
And so far today, Keyshawn Haley's bringing the lumber. But we mentioned DeJour Stewart, the redshirt sophomore, coming to IUP via Fork Union Military Academy in Virginia.
But he's from York, Pennsylvania.
Yes, and had a monster year as a senior. Rushed for over 3,000 yards and 40 touchdowns at York High School. So his legend looms large here in the state of Pennsylvania.
3rd down and 2. Luckily, I never had to go up against the George Stewart back in my high school days. Sexton turns around, hands it to Stewart. Good push by Nathan Muley in that defensive line. We'll see if he got to the 1st down or not. I believe they're going to spot him short, so it will be 4th and inches after no gain on the play.
No push up front by the Crimson Hawks, and like we mentioned, the Rams defensive unit, particularly on that D-line, they're starting to incorporate some more beef up front just for situations like that. We've noticed in years past the Rams have gone with an undersized defensive line, and it really hasn't hurt them because they've been built for a specific purpose. They've been built to protect leads, but now you're starting to see them transition more to a more balanced defense where they can be a little bit more stout against the run up front.
4th and about 2 with 9:50 to go in this first quarter. They'll run Stewart. He's got the 1st down and more. There's George Stewart, spins off one tackler. Man, he's tough to bring down. Finally brought down on the play by Pena. It's a 1st down IUP. On 4th and 2 for Stewart to get that kind of hole, give credit to that Crimson Hawks offensive line.
Stewart running hard, but he better secure that football. Like we mentioned, it's been raining off and on today, and he's breaking tackles, fighting for extra yards, and a lot of times when running backs put the ball on the turf, it's because they're trying to go for that extra inch. Take what the defense is giving you, but ball security is at an absolute premium in today's ball game.
9:14 to go in the opening quarter. IUP in the red zone, and they'll go to George Stewart up the middle this time. Doesn't find too much room before the Rams stack it up. So it'll be 2nd down for the 10.
It's like 2-yard pickup. Yeah, it was Cowser in on the tackle.
So 2nd and 8 for IUP. A long drive for the Crimson Hawks. Only 8:40 to go in this opening quarter. Shepherd went 3 and out on its opening drive. IUP with a back in the backfield and 3 receiver set. We'll turn around, hand it off, and Solomon Alexander eats it up in the backfield for the Rams. On the carry for IUP was Parker Gregg. They do have other running backs besides Stewart, but he's got the majority of the carries this season, Travis.
Yeah,
don't really use those other guys too much.
Let's say some of the other names that you might hear in the backfield, Adam Hauser or J.D. Younger, a little like Parker Gregg, a little bit more of a bigger body that they like using down close to the goal line.
3rd down and 8. Stewart now moves to the left of Sexton, who looks to a wide open Stewart in the flat. He has the 1st down, reaches for the end zone. Touchdown IUP. DeJour starts breaking tackles and getting into the end zone to give the Crimson Hawks the early 6-0 lead with 7:42 to go in this opening quarter.
And Max Sexton doing a good job of making that defense stay in the middle of the field. He did not look to that swing route right away, wanted to keep that safety nailed to the middle of the field. Then he threw it out there late, and then at that point, you just put the ball in the hands of one of your best playmakers on offense, and he was able not only to break the tackle, but get his hands extended across the goal line and get that first score for the Crimson Hawks.
Extra point on here for IUP. Kick is up, and it is good. 7-0 IUP leads with 7:42 to go in this first quarter. We'll take a 60-second break. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Happiness grows here all through the year. Holiday shopping is such fun, fruity gifts for everyone. Happiness grows here. Orr's Farm Market.
Christmas at Orr's Farm Market is right around the corner, and there's so much to do. Arriving November 18th, Orr's Farm Market will have fresh-cut West Virginia-grown Christmas trees and the return of our popular hot cocoa bar on Fridays and Saturdays. Country Christmas is what we do best. Visit our farm market for the best West Virginia apples and lots of gift items. Our bakery is also cranking out the best pies and desserts you can imagine. Check out our website at orrsfarmmarket.com or like us on Facebook to learn more about our live nativity and Santa visits. Remember, happiness grows here at Orr's Farm Market.
IUP will kick it away, and Ronnie Brown will field it inside the 5-yard line for Shepherd. Brown gets a little bit of hole, spins out of a tackle at the 21. Still on his feet. If he can get a block, this could be dangerous. There goes Ronnie up the near sideline before he's pushed out of bounds around the 36-yard line. That's where Shepherd will take over. Our first quarter is presented to you on TV 10 by Smallwood and Small Insurance in Martinsburg, your total insurance solution, located at 121 Administrative Drive. Call 304-263-3361. Along with Parsons Ford. They became Parsons Ford is located at 1400 Shepherdstown Road and online at parsonsford.com. They became number one by making you number one first. Parsons, 7:31 to go in the opening quarter. Shepherd only with its second drive of the ball game after a 3-and-out to begin things. First down and 10 for the Rams. Bajent throws complete on the near side to Marlon Cook, who is brought down at the 35-yard line.
The Rams just taking advantage of that soft coverage on the outside. It looked like the Crimson Hawks really backed off those wide receivers on both sides of the field, and that's an easy throw and catch that time for Tyson Bajent. And type of throws that you need, particularly in weather, a little bit of wind, a little bit of rain. You want to get those easy throws, get yourself a little bit of confidence. Also, you can kind of get your range down and figure out how that ball's going to fly today.
8-yard pickup. Chuck Ingram made the tackle for IUP. Bajent throws. Other side, it's caught by Max Fisher right at the midfield stripe. That's a first down for Shepherd. Looked like Connor Kelly was there to make the tackle for IUP.
Fisher listed as a wide receiver, the transfer from NC State, but he's a bigger body, kind of fits that mold that Alex Wetzel fit last year. 6'3", 210 pounds, does a good job of getting into open spaces in between the hash marks.
First down and 10. Bajent will go. Ronnie Brown. This time he gets a nice hole down to the 45-yard line before he's tackled on the play. Shepherd will have it now. Second down and about 5 for the Rams.
And you can just tell that they've got the jitters out of their system now. Now they're settled in, doing the things that they like to do. But sometimes you just need that first drive just to kind of work out all the kinks before you can get out here and get back to business.
So second down and about 5 for Shepherd. Bajent throws underneath to Ronnie Brown. He's got room in first down and more. Down inside to about the 34-yard line goes Brown. I like to play, Travis. Just get it out to Ronnie quickly in space, and he's able to go to work.
Yeah, that was just a design swing pass. The blockers were already out there. Brian Walker did a good job of getting downfield, gobbling up one of those defenders, and Ronnie Brown has shown he's just as dangerous catching the ball out of the backfield as he is carrying the football. He's the team's leading rusher and the third leading wide receiver. He is a weapon on the offensive side of the ball.
5.5 minutes to go in this opening quarter, and they'll flake it to Hartman. Bajent rolls to the left side, throws for E.J. Morgan, who leaps up.
Tough catch.
And makes a heck of a grab on the near sideline. E.J. Morgan, one of the veteran receivers on this team. Injuries have kind of held him back throughout his career, but he's made a nice impact for Shepherd this season. Second down and 1 for the Rams with about 5 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Bajent in the offense trails IUP by 7.
That marked Morgan's 14th catch of the season. putting him over the 200-yard mark on the year.
Bajan adjusting things at the line of scrimmage. Hartman remains the back, now lined up to the left of Tyson. Bajan under some heat. Dives forward, close to the stick. Should be a first down for Shepherd on 2nd down and 1, and that will move the chains. Tyson Bajan, that more willingness to run at times has really helped Shepherd, I think. IUP, though, did a pretty good job of containing him after the run, so now teams seem to be, or maybe the Crimson Hawks are a little bit more worried about it than what we've seen over these past few weeks. Because
he's the kind of running threat, he's kind of hard to account for because he doesn't run enough where you have to assign a spy, but if you don't account for his mobility somewhat, he can hurt you by picking up timely first downs.
They'll run Ronnie Brown here on 1st and 10, and Brown gets a good hole off that right side.
Tyson Bajan having 4 rushing touchdowns coming into today's contest. And you remember back in that Millersville game where he had a pretty good game on the ground, had 9 carries, 45 yards, big pickup, and at the end of that game, Millersville had to assign a spy to Tyson Bajan. So not too often that you see that, but he is an athletic quarterback and can extend plays with his legs, but he can also pick up those first downs if you give him enough space.
Just a 2-yard pickup makes it 2nd down and 8 for the Rams. Bajan under some pressure off that blind side, throws a lofty pass, and it's intercepted by IUP.
Looks like
they're off on the play by Darius Bruce.
Bruce coming into today's game has 34 tackles on the year, 27 of those solo. Also puts in work as a kick returner, but that time looked like a miscommunication between Bajan and Dorsey out on the end. Bajan expecting Dorsey to continue up the sideline. Dorsey comes on the comeback, and Tyson Bajan, the ball's out of his hands at that time, and a lot of times those interceptions, it's not all on the quarterback. Sometimes it's just a combination of mistakes that results in the early turnover for the Rams offense.
Yeah, and that's when I think you miss a guy like Ryan Beach, because Rodney Dorsey doesn't get a ton of offensive snaps, but Ryan Beach is day-to-day right now with a knee injury, I believe it is, and they'll run it here to the outside of Stewart. He's got a little bit of room before he's knocked out of bounds around the 16-yard line.
But we've watched the way Beach has played this year. He's been battling injuries all year long.
Yes, but I think the point I was trying to make there is that him and Beach have that connection.
Absolutely.
Where they're always on the same page.
Yes.
While Ryan Beach hasn't been the same player he was a year ago, he's on the field a lot more with Tyson than Rodney Dorsey has been.
Yes.
So I think that's where you miss him more so than his production hasn't quite been there. And you do have depth behind him to get that similar production, but just the threat of Ryan Beach, too, is a big loss.
You have to account for him, absolutely. You have to game plan for him. And you certainly miss him when he's not out there on the field.
2nd down and 5, so the interception really stalls out what was a pretty good drive for Shepherd. Seemed like the Rams had finally gotten something going after that first drive that went 3 and out, but now IUP has answered with the defensive stop and a chance to really kill some clock here and also take a 2-score lead potentially if the Shepherd defense can't make a stop. I mean, we saw on the previous drive there was a few 4th downs and 3rd down conversions by IUP that extended those drives, Travis. So it's going to be important for Shepherd to clean those things up and make those stops on this drive.
So there's still a lot of pressure on IUP because you got the turnover, which is awesome. You certainly don't want to give up the points. But now you got an opportunity to extend that lead, and you certainly don't want to leave that window cracked open even a little bit, because even a little bit of an opportunity is too much for Tyson Bajan. So you're going to have to do something with this football, like you said, possibly eat up some clock, but you certainly want to come away with some points because you don't want to miss out on opportunities to put points on the board, because you know you're going to have to put a ton of points on the board if you expect to beat this Shepherd Rams team.
At the very least, I think it's important that IUP at least flips the field, because while you got the interception, you are backed up inside your own 20. If you go 3 and out here and are forced to punt, it doesn't hurt as much if you are able to at least get onto the Shepherd side of the field and then back them up again so they just got all the way down there just to go all the way back. In a similar, if you're forced to punt, Shepherd's probably taking over around the 45-yard line or so, which is really good field position, and they can quickly get back on the board. You want the score, though, obviously, as your number one if you're the Crimson Hawks here. 2nd and about 5 for IUP as Sexton lines up under center. He'll fake it to Stewart, looking to take a shot down the middle of the field and incomplete. Thrown behind the intended receiver. And that will bring up a 3rd and 5. And this is one of those crucial situations, Travis, that we just talked about. You need to stop here if you're Shepherd.
That was kind of a conservative play that time by the Crimson Hawks. Really only sent 2 receivers out in a route. Chose to go with a maximum protection look up front. Certainly worried about those edge rushers for the Rams, as they should be. But a lot of Rams defenders, and Max Sexton just tried to squeeze it in there, and lucky not to come away with a turnover.
Diebner, the intended receiver. So 3rd and 5, 2:57 to go in this first quarter. Sexton throws far side right at the sticks. It's caught. First down, IUP. Dante Harrison makes the tackle on the far side. That one, I believe, was caught by Hilton Ridley there on that far side. And that will bring up first down and 10 for IUP. So big throw there by Sexton, and Ridley able to make that catch and making an impact here. First down and 10, 2:25 to go. They'll send a man in motion, run the ball off the far side. Nathan Muley there to make that tackle. I'm sorry, Matt Bednarski in on the tackle. Got my EPAC alums confused there. Muley, the Jefferson grad, and Bednarski, the Martinsburg product. Second down and 9 after a 1-yard carry. Under 2 minutes to go in the opening quarter. IUP on top of Shepherd, 7-0 here at George P. Miller Stadium. Pistol formation for the Crimson Hawks. Sexton throws deep down the middle of the field, and it's incomplete. Great breakup on the play by the Rams. There's McDowell there to break it up. Intended, I believe, for the tight end Smith. And good coverage on the play. It looked like it was going to be a big play for the Crimson Hawks on one that Sexton just kind of floated out there. But McDowell makes up for the kind of the blown coverage and makes the hit. So 3rd down and 9. Tough situation here for IUP. 1:41 to go in the first quarter. Sexton under some heat, throws a screen pass underneath, complete, but Shepherd is right there. Keyshawn Haley there to make the tackle and throw him out of bounds. It'll be 4th down, so Shepherd gets that punt and a crucial stop, Travis.
And again, that Rams defense just showing that their athleticism sometimes just able to overcome what you would think textbook should be able to beat them. You know you're going to get a big rush on 3rd down, 3rd and long. You know those defensive ends are really going to be getting upfield. So what do you try to do to take advantage of that? You try to use a screen pass. Yes, it sounds good theoretically, but the Rams defense is so quick to recognize things, react, and they got the athleticism to make it happen. Even though they completed the screen pass, the defense was Johnny on the spot to push him out of bounds and force a punt here on 4th down.
Rodney Dorsey, as a flag comes in, Dorsey back deep. He'll throw up a fair catch. Lets it bounce and roll inside the 30-yard line. We'll see what this penalty is. It will go against Shepherd. I believe it will be an offsides against the Rams, but that would still be 4th down, so we'll probably see a re-kick from IUP. But besides that, not too crucial of a penalty here. Might affect field position, though. We'll see how good this second kick is. Presuming, of course, that IUP accepts the penalty. 7-0. Crimson Hawks on top of Shepherd with 56 seconds to go. And there is the offsides call. But they declined it. Interesting. Maybe not a ton of confidence in your punt unit. I don't know.
I mean, the weather, there's no reason to really risk it. So you got good field position.
Shepherd's blocked kicks before, punts this season. You never want to accept it just for a few yards and potentially give up, a blocked punt. And then,
I mean, you got the lead, you got the momentum on your side. There's no reason really to try to gamble at this point in the game.
First down and 10 for Shepherd from about the 29-yard line. They'll give it to Ronnie Brown, and he falls forward for maybe a yard before IUP comes up and makes the tackle. Looked like that was Chuck Ingram in there for IUP.
And looking again at that Crimson Hawks offense, we've yet to see Dwayne Brown check into the game.
I believe he might be out today.
Yeah, he hasn't been out there.
That's why we've seen guys like Debner and Ridley out there as well. So no Brown is a huge loss for the Crimson Hawks. Bajan on second down will throw the far side, caught by Marlon Cook. He'll step out of bounds at the first down. Sticks. First down, Shepherd to the 41.
And you figure after that miscommunication that caused that interception early on in the game, I think Tyson Bajan's really going to be looking to his go-to guys in Cook and Walker here for the duration of the game.
Final play, I believe, of the first quarter was that last one, as Shepherd will let it go. And at the end of one, it is IUP 7, Shepherd nothing. We'll take a 60-second break. On the other side of that break, we'll have the second quarter. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. We're back at 60.
Ollie's VIP North Side is the best spot to catch all your favorite teams. Join us Monday for Dollar Wings and Monday Night Football. Thursdays on the patio for the Cornhole Tourney. Friday night lights with happy hour specials, or Saturdays during or after the college games for steak night. Get a ribeye or New York steak for just $26.95. Ollie's has great food and drink menus too, along with 17 TVs to watch any game of your choice from anywhere at the bar or their outdoor patio and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP North Side. We'll see you for the game.
Want to earn your MBA but don't think you have time? Shepherd University offers two options for employed learners. Choose between our fully online or our in-person programs. You can earn your degree in the evenings while benefiting from Shepherd's top faculty. We're now accepting applications for next semester. Visit www.shepherd.edu/online radio or call 304-876-5313. Again, that's www.shepherd.edu/online radio.
We welcome you back to the second quarter here as Shepherd trails IUP in the PSAC championship game 7-0. Rams with a first down and 10. They'll run Ronnie Brown off the right side. Brown making guys miss, gets brought down hard on the play, but a flag in the backfield. So that will probably negate this run, as looks like it will back up the Rams after a solid run on first down. Holding against Reiser for Shepherd. First and 20 now for Shepherd. As the second quarter just getting started between the two teams. IUP kicked to the Rams. The Rams went 3 and out. And then the Crimson Hawks drove down the field. Sexton found DeJour Stort for an early touchdown pass, and it's 7-0 IUP. Bajan here on first and 20, dumps it down to Brown in the flat. Ronnie Brown sheds off one tackler and then steps out of bounds. Taylor was the man to kind of force him out initially there on the near side.
Also, Drew D'Annunzio Biss was in the area.
He's second down.
One of the leading tacklers for the Crimson Hawks defensive unit. 65 tackles coming into today's contest, 36 of those solo. 5 tackles for loss, including 1 sack.
Just a 2-yard pickup on the play. 2nd and 18 for Shepherd. Bajan steps up, throws for Brian Walker. It is caught, and he takes a big hit. It's the man that had the interception, Darius Bruce, in on that tackle at the 45-yard line. It will be 3rd and manageable, though, a 3rd and 6 for the Rams with 13:48 to go in this second quarter. 7-0 IUP.
Smart tackle by Bruce, 6'1", 182 pounds, going up against Walker, who's a little bit bigger than that, 6'5", 240 pounds. So you certainly don't want to go toe-to-toe with a big lumberjack of a man like that.
We've seen Brian Walker hurdle some guys, but when he's catching it in the air, that's almost impossible. Yeah. 3rd down and 6. Bajan under a little bit of pressure, will roll to the right, pumps once. I think he might have to run at that point anyway, and he runs forward short of the first down marker. I thought maybe Bajan had already crossed that line of scrimmage. It was tough to tell, but he runs forward for about a yard. It'll be 4th down, and Shepherd will bring out Ryan Barrick, a guy that doesn't see the field too often, but IUP so far has forced two punts from the Rams.
And not too often that you see Tyson Bajan being indecisive on that play when he was able to break containment, got outside and really wasn't sure if he was going to try to throw the ball down the field or run it himself. And I think that indecision kind of cost him a 1st down on that play.
Barrick will kick. It's a high end-over-end punt. Will head out of bounds around the 21-yard, or no, not great here. Came out around the 27 or so, 28. Not terrible, but.
Again, you could tell that Rams coaching staff concerned about the talent that IUP has in that return game. So sometimes when you go with those directional kicks, sometimes they don't go in the direction quite the way you want it, and sometimes you're going to shank a few. And again, the Crimson Hawks coming up with really good field position. But that Rams offense having a hard time getting on track because the IUP defense doing a good job of playing coverage, keeping everything in front of them, and making Tyson Bajan take those checkdowns.
So 12:39 to go in this second quarter. They'll run Sexton, hands it off to Stewart. Bednarski is right there to make the tackle for Shepherd, along with Kevin Kauser, and it will be 2nd down and 9, just a 1-yard pickup on that carry. Not Stewart, though, in the backfield there, as we saw Adam Hauser get that carry for IUP. Be 2nd down and about 9. 12:14 to go in this second quarter, 7-0 IUP. Sexton adjusts at the line of scrimmage. Sexton throws near side, caught by Grant Smith, short of the sticks. Terry coming up and making the tackle for Shepherd. It'll be 3rd down and 4.
Seeing the Rams using some of that young depth here so far in today's game. Bednarski, you got Terry out there, Kauser out there. These are guys that came in usually in mop-up duty during the season, but that's the thing that we talked about. That's why you want to work in those players in those type of situations, because you're going to need that depth once you get into postseason play.
Yeah, Bednarski has kind of been rotational all year, but you're right with Terry and some of the other Kauser has had his time to shine at times, but it's tough to get on the field. You got Lynch and Grantham out there.
Yeah.
Here's a pass throw, wide open man, 1st down and more for IUP into Shepherd territory. Goes Grant Smith, the tight end. He's really emerged today with no Brown in the offense.
And Diebner did a good job of getting Smith open over there. Diebner running a hitch on the outside, pulling up Emilio Pena. And when Pena was able to step up, that gave the quarterback plenty of space to throw his wide receiver open. Threw that corner to the sideline. Grant Smith able to make that catch, pick up a couple yards after that. And right now, this Crimson Hawks offense clicking on all cylinders.
1st and 10 for the Crimson Hawks. Down to the 40-yard line of Shepherd. They'll run. Hauser this time. He's got a big hole. Hauser into the secondary. 1st down and more goes Adam Hauser. IUP moving into Ram territory. Clayton Batten comes up and makes the tackle for the Rams.
And that time IUP putting a fullback in the game. Cam Suman, the 6'1", 235-pound redshirt senior. You don't see too many I formations these days, especially in the PSAC, but hey, this is the weather for it.
It's true. Coming up on 10 minutes to go in the first half. Sexton back to the line of scrimmage. Rams trail IUP 7-0 here in the PSAC championship. Sexton hands it off. There goes Hauser again. He stutter steps in the hole, and he doesn't find much room. Devin Lynch coming up and cleaning things up. I think Harrison set the edge. Or no, that was Pena who set the edge for Shepherd initially. And that will bring up a 2nd down and 10.
Again, just trying to get that run established on 1st down. So now faced with 2nd and long, but the Rams defense able to rise to the occasion. But you can also look at those type of plays that's an offense that's trying to set something up on the backside.
Too many men on the huddle here. We saw running off there late J.D. Younger, who thought he was supposed to be in the game, but him and Parker Gregg were on the field. which results in this 5-yard penalty.
Again, it's a big game, and you need that communication to come freely. When you have those different personnel packages coming in and off the field, those guys have to communicate that to the players that are already out there on the field, because you're going to get penalized. You have too many people in the huddle, you can't have that. So you have to communicate as you're coming onto the field to let those guys know that they have to get their butts off to the sideline.
It almost seemed like the officials wouldn't have noticed that the player didn't run off the field late, because they didn't throw it when they were in the huddle. Or right when they broke the huddle, I should say. 2nd down and 15 with about 9 minutes to go. They'll hand it off to Bragg, and he gets stopped at the line of scrimmage after about a 2-yard gain, I should say.
Haley coming up, lowering the boom. He's bringing the lumber today.
Nick Keyshawn Haley, a big hitter in this Rams secondary, who's really stepped up. We saw him play a little bit last year, but when Antonio Fox and De Leon were out there, it was tough to see the field, and Haley in this game has played well. 3rd down and 14, and really has played well all season as one of the big tacklers for Shepherd. Sexton looks to the near sideline. About 8:30 to go in this second quarter. 7-0 IUP. Sexton looks to throw. Throw to the far side. It's caught short of the first down 6.
And Batten with a nice double leg takedown that time.
Yeah, very good tackle there behind the corner. The Shepherd secondary they don't make those business decisions like Deion Sanders will. They'll come up and they'll hit you.
Yeah.
4th down and 3. I guess you got to get to a certain level before you're allowed to just not make tackles as a DB.
You're going to give Deion Sanders a couple concessions out there.
Well, nobody really got open on him, so he didn't really have to make too many tackles. 4th down and 3, 7:35 to go, and it looks like IUP is going to attempt a field goal. The kick is up, and looks good, and it is good. So IUP takes the lead 10-0 over Shepherd on the field goal attempt. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. We're back in 60 seconds.
Hagerstown Ford continues to be your leader in car sales up and down the I-81 corridor. We will beat any and all competitors' prices, and we've made buying a new car easier than ever with one-day delivery better than Amazon and a return policy better than Walmart. Your satisfaction is our guarantee. If you don't like it, simply return it and we'll come pick it up. No questions asked. Why would you shop anywhere else? At Hagerstown Ford, we take great pride in our community and supporting our local student athletes. That's why Hagerstown Ford is the official car dealership of Shepherd Rams quarterback Tyson Bagent. Our remote buying process has made new car shopping so easy, you'll never even set foot in a dealership. Simply go to HagerstownFord.com and click on the car you want to buy it, or use the Axle Auto app. It's that easy. You can order your new car on any device. Go to HagerstownFord.com and get your new car signed, sealed, and delivered from Hagerstown Ford.
We welcome you back to George P. Miller Stadium. Shepherd trails IUP 10-0. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith. Travis, IUP gets that lead, but we've seen this Shepherd team come back before. Just last week, trailed East Stroudsburg 14-0. Here goes Ronnie Brown on the kickoff return. Ronnie Brown's got some room. There goes Ronnie Brown. Across the 40, cross midfield, all the way down to the IUP 35-yard line before he's pushed out of bounds. Brown caught it on a bounce, and then it was dangerous. Shepherd or IUP should probably stop kicking to Ronnie because he's already had a few good
You could tell when
returns.
they played, that was their goal. They didn't want to kick it to him. That's why they kicked that sky ball, hoping that he wasn't going to be the one that was going to catch it. But he was still able to come up, catch it on one hop. Kind of broke the ice for the Rams last week versus East Stroudsburg when he was able to catch a 26-yard pass out of the backfield and take it for a touchdown. So when you're in need of a spark, look no further than Ronnie Brown.
And, of course, we mentioned during the break, Travis, that Shepherd trailed Kutztown 21-14, and the guy that helped them get back in that ball game was Ronnie Brown. Kickoff return for a touchdown. Bajan throws to the near side, complete to Alfonso Foray, but he is tackled right away by Bruce on the near side about the 32-yard line. It'll be 2nd down after the solid pickup of about 7 minutes to go in the first half. Shepherd trails IUP 10-0. Blake Hartman is the running back.
See if this Rams offense makes some adjustments. Seems like IUP is going to be content to give them underneath tight passing routes to see if the Rams can adjust those passing routes so they can start taking advantage of that space underneath.
E.J. Morgan goes in motion from right to left. Agent wanted Morgan on that wheel route. This is going to be holding against Shepherd, so Agent just throws it away. Flag coming in on that far side. So this will back the Rams up with 6:32 to go in this first half.
And that was Gregory Moore the second supplying the pressure. 6'2", 308. I believe that is a generous 308. But I tell you what, the big man was on the move that play. Enough to make Tyson Bajan get out of the pocket and throw the ball away.
Could be a lean 308.
A lean 308?
That just sounds fun.
I don't know.
Hey.
I'm not going to tell him that to his face.
If he's pushing, why 308 though?
Yeah.
Why not just 310? Go big or go home. Bajan steps up in the pocket, rolling to the right, will tuck and run, and now he's knocked out of bounds on the near sideline. Because if you're going to go for over 300, like, why would you be so specific with 308? If you're not actually.
Maybe he had a personal goal. Maybe he got a Peloton during the offseason, and that was his goal to be 308.
308, not 310, not 309.
No, 308.
305. 6:11 to go in this first half. 10-0 IUP. It's 3rd and 11 for Shepherd. This is a crucial third down, but probably 4-down territory depending on how many yards you're able to get here. If you're the Rams, Bajan has time, throws underneath, complete to Brian Walker. He'll lower the shoulder, get close to the sticks, but going to be a few yards short of the first down to about the 31-yard line. Good tackle on the play by Taylor there to lower the shoulder on the big tight end. But it makes it 4th down and manageable, 4th and 5, so Shepherd will go for it here in kind of no man's land at around the 32-yard line.
His IUP secondary has really shown out so far today, not giving up anything over the top, keeping everything underneath and in front of him.
Agent pumps once, throws deep to wide open. Brian Walker makes the catch inside the 10-yard line, and Walker all the way down to the 1. A floater that just barely got over the Crimson Hawks defense finds Brian Walker. And it's 1st and goal, Shepherd to the 1.
And if you needed to know why Tyson Bajan got that Senior Bowl invite, look at that play right there. That took some, how shall I say, this is a family show. That took some courage to throw that ball. He did the pump fake because it looks like the defense was really trying to keep everything in front of him. And initially looked like that might be the first option to go, but did that pump fake. Brian Walker was able to sneak behind the defense, and Tyson Bajan able to use that touch and put it right over the defender.
That hurts. False start going against Shepherd. That will back the Rams up a little bit here. Brian Walker hauling in that catch. A very similar type of catch that he made that broke the record for the Division II touchdowns. But this false start really backs you up. Has to change the formation if you're Shepherd too, because they were going for that big physical formation with James Bell running on as an extra offensive lineman. Wearing number 48 today is Bell, so he can be eligible for those kind of formations. Ronnie Brown is the back to the left of Tyson with a 3-receiver set here on 1st down and goal. Agent takes the snap, throws underneath, caught, touchdown Shepherd. It's E.J. Morgan hauling it in. I'm sorry, Rodney Dorsey is there for the touchdown, and the Rams take their first points on the board at 10-6 with 4:25 to go in the second quarter.
Again, it's frustrating that you get that false start and it backs you up a little bit, but honestly, it's not going to hurt on offense like this. It gives you a little bit more space to work with, and on that play, Dorsey able to come, work right around linebacker depth. He was able to shake loose, and that time Tyson Bajan had all the time in the world in the pocket to make that decision and make an accurate throw to put the Rams on the board for the first time today.
Jacob Haney on to attempt the point after 6-10. Our score, Shepherd trails IUP. The extra point is up, and it is good. 10-7. IUP on top of Shepherd. 4:25 to go in the first half. We'll take a 60-second break. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
To IUP. Crimson Hawks fielding it from around the 5-yard line. Ball came out. Rams dive on top of it. Wait for the official signal to see if Shepherd has this on that kickoff return. It was very close to the sideline to tell if Shepherd, one, could have got it while staying in bounds, and two, if that Crimson Hawks player was down by contact or what the situation is. IUP, I guess that's what they're saying, that it was down because of where that ball rolled to, then that the ball would be spotted around the 30, but I guess they're saying he was down around the 25. So IUP now has it first down and 10 with 4:16 to go in the first half. Shepherd trails 10-7. Sexton hands it off. Pena stacks it up.
And again, you could tell this IUP team, the momentum has certainly moved over to the other sideline. Shepherd, once that offense begins to wake up, they become a different ball club. And you can tell IUP, they're playing with the pressure squarely on their shoulders now. Even though they have the lead, they're at home. They know how potent that Rams offense is. So once they get rolling, they know that they have to be productive on the offensive side of the ball. And almost losing the possession right there, that could have been huge.
We haven't seen DeJour Stort in quite a while. Adam Hauser's been in the backfield quite a bit, so I wonder if Stort could be dealing with an injury. Sexton throws to the far side, caught. Keyshawn Haley comes up and makes the tackle for Shepherd. And on the reception for IUP was number 81, Cole Lanley, the other tight end. So if Stort is out, that's two of the big offensive weapons, but I see DeJour Stort on the sidelines. I'm not certain why he hasn't been in the game. Hauser, a good running back, but Stort's been their guy today, making big plays. So maybe he's dealing with an injury now, but hoping they can get him back in. Looks like he's got a whole bunch of tape on his left leg. First down and 10 with 3 minutes to go in this first half after Lanley picks up the first down for IUP. They'll run off the right side with Hauser. Hauser cuts it back up the middle. First down and more, bouncing off tacklers before Pena brings them down.
Hauser gets a big gain, checks out of the game. Another running back comes in for the Crimson Hawks. That is J.D. Younger, one of the other running backs that'll come in. The 5'10", 200-pound freshman. Been averaging 4.5 yards per carry this year.
2.5 minutes to go in the first half. Sexton, play action. Looking deep, fires over the middle.
Oh, good defense.
Incomplete. Great play on the coverage by Clayton Batten. It's been a good day for Batten so far.
Oh, my goodness, the way he's able to jump up, move around the receiver without getting the defensive pass interference. Acrobatic play that time by Batten. Good job. Because you're working behind a bigger wide receiver, so the natural instinct is just to try to reach in front of him with one hand, and sometimes you get in trouble by draping that backside hand across the waist, but Batten said he's going to do the other thing. He's going to make the spectacular play to break up that pass.
Second down and 10 with 2:20 to go. Throw Incomplete. And is that Clayton Batten again breaking it?
That was Batten again.
Batten batting it away for Shepherd. 3rd down and 10 here for IUP.
That was kind of a funky play that time by IUP. Just a quick little play action pass, and then they just tried to throw it out there. I don't know if it was a miscommunication or what, but it didn't look too clean.
You can tell IUP's passing game seems a little limited.
Yeah, they're a little panicked right now.
Without Brown, too, I think that's really hurt them because it seems like the majority of the passes seem to be play action deep shots. And if you don't have a guy like Dwayne Brown out there, it really limits what you can do offensively. Here's a 3rd down. Sexton under some pressure, spins out of a sack, and now he's brought down on the play. Kyle Smith makes the tackle. It is a positive gain, but it will bring up 4th down for IUP.
And again, on most defenses, Sexton would have been able to pick up the 1st down. But the Rams defense is so quick to recognize and react and pursue to the ball. Just a good job by that defensive front. Not only did they get upfield to flush him out of the pocket, but once he escapes up through the middle, they're able to backtrack and pick him up and limit him and force the Hawks to make a tough 4th down decision. Rams are going to make them make that decision by calling a timeout.
I think you have to punt, even though it is 4th and 6. I know if you give Shepherd the ball back with 2 minutes, it doesn't matter where they're at on the field, but you definitely don't want to give it to them around midfield with 2 minutes to work with.
But that's how crazy it is. Like, Shepherd's that good. Even if you have a 10-7 lead and you're playing at home, you still like the pressure's on you like you're playing from behind. So right now, IUP, you're at home. You're winning. You're feeling good, but not really because they can just feel it, the game just inching away from them. So now that they have a very tough decision to make here early on. But like you said, you have to punt. You're getting the ball back here in the second half. So make the safe play.
And the other thing to note, I think that's important, Shepherd's probably going forward on 90% of 4th downs because they don't have much confidence, I think, in their kicking unit, to be honest, because Haney just hasn't been consistent enough where you can throw him out there for a 35, 40-yard kick unless you absolutely need to. And if you have a 4th and 5, you got the best player in the country at quarterback.
Plus, you also have a ton of confidence in your offense. You also have a ton of confidence in your defense.
Here's the punt. Rodney Dorsey standing back. It's not a great punt. It's very high. We'll bounce and roll, and that's what you got to come up and catch that one. I think is what Shepherd wanted to see there, as it will roll all the way to the 3-yard line. So it was a great punt in terms of the final result, but if Shepherd has somebody come up and catch that ball, you're getting decent field position there opposed to where you're now backed up inside your own 5.
Certainly frustrating for the coaching staff because you call a timeout just to have a plan in place for that play, and then the ball gets there and you have a bunch of guys standing around close to the ball. It's like either you're going to catch it or get away from it. But now, by not picking up the ball, you've backed yourself up to the shadow of your own goal line. You got less than 2 minutes. You still got 2 timeouts, but that's certainly not a position you want to put your offense in, is backed up against your own goal line.
So 1st down and 10 for the Rams around the 3-yard line. Bagent standing in the IUP end zone at the I in IUP. He'll throw far side complete. And that will give you a little bit of breathing room. Marlon Cook on the reception for Shepherd.
See, and this is where you miss Ryan Beach, because a lot of teams, when they play off like that, then you're forced to take that underneath stuff. But with a player like Ryan Beach, you're okay with that scenario because you know if you throw those little dinks and dunks to him underneath, he has the ability to shake and bake and make it into a big play. But right now, Shepherd really doesn't have that type of athlete out on the perimeter.
Agent play action, looking toward the near sideline and incomplete, intended for Ronnie Brown. Marlon Cook, while that may not be his number one skill set, he's gotten better, I think, as the season gone on, at being more of a possession wide receiver and making those plays underneath. You look at his stature and size and speed, you think more of a deep threat, but for a guy that's 6'2", 6'3", he does a good job underneath, I think, as well.
He does.
And that's something that's kind of developed as the season has gone on. He's really become the number one receiver for this team. 3rd down and 4 for the Rams with 1:20 to go. Bagent with plenty of time to throw. Throws for Brian Walker. He juggles it, and it falls incomplete. A tight window that Bagent snuck it in there to.
Oh!
But a flag coming in here late. This might be costly if it's against IUP. The rain has really picked up. 4th down and 4, 1:14 to go. But we'll see what this penalty is, if it's against Shepherd or IUP here.
And Walker's had difficulty catching the ball cleanly today. Most of his catches have been kind of double clutched.
That's big. Goes against IUP.
That's huge.
So that will give the Rams a 1st down after, I mean, you should have probably had a catch there, but
if
the penalty just can't happen there.
If you just keep your mouth shut, you're going to get the ball back.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what more.
Good field position.
Yes,
too.
yes.
With
timeouts in your pocket. Oh, huge missed opportunity that time by IUP.
So Bajan and the Rams will try to take advantage of the missed opportunity and make an opportunity for themselves. And there, Walker can't make that catch. That one a little bit thrown behind the intended target. And Brian Walker bring up 2nd down and 10. Bajan's really had to extend these plays today, and we haven't seen the receivers seem to get open as quickly against this tough IUP defense.
And that secondary for the IUP Crimson Hawks has done an excellent job of making Tyson Bajan take those checkdowns, and then they're rallying to the football and tackling well in space.
You wonder, too, Ryan Beach has that ability to kind of create and have the breakdown backyard type football. That's maybe what Shepherd needs in some of these plays. Is here's a catch by Cook, but Bruce is right there to make the tackle around the 31-yard line. This will be 3rd down, and we have a timeout for Shepherd. They have 1 remaining. IUP has 2 remaining. Let's go ahead and take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRR TV on YouTube. Welcome you back to George P. Miller Stadium. Nick Verzolini alongside me is Travis Smith. Tyson Bajan, the Senior Bowl invitee, and the Rams offense back on the field for 3rd and 4 with under a minute to play in this first half. IUP 10, Shepherd 7 in this PSAC championship game. Shepherd has won 22 conference championships, but looking for their first in the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Bajan throws complete to Max Fisher. He has the 1st down before he is brought down on the play. That will stop the clock. Shepherd quickly back on the ball with 2 seconds to go in the first half. 3-point ball game. Bajan calling the plays at the line of scrimmage. Ronnie Brown goes in motion from right to left. Bajan pumps now, dumps it down to Ronnie in the flat. Brown makes a guy miss. Gets a push from his offensive lineman, Chandler Brown, and now gets it to about the 46-yard line. 35 seconds to go. Shepherd will be forced to call another timeout. The final of this first half. It is IUP 10, Shepherd 7. And Travis, now you're out of timeout, so you got to work the sidelines.
And it's tough because IUP has had a really good game plan coming into the game, keeping everything in front of them, and again, rallying to the football and tackling well in space. That's always going to be critical against Shepherd because they have such good athletes that can, they do a good job of working underneath that zone and making plays after the catch. But IUP doing a good job of limiting those yards after the catch because they just tackle very well in space. Plus, the footing out there on the field isn't the best because it's been raining all day today, so it's not like guys can really stick their foot in the ground and make those type of sharp cuts that they need to get away from the defender. So right now, IUP having a very solid game plan on the defensive side of the ball, making that Shepherd offense stay patient. And even though right now time is not on the side for the Shepherd Rams.
2nd and 2, 35 seconds. Do you think we maybe see a shot here for the Rams? Getting close to midfield? Or do you think they probably still work for the 1st down marker and try to continue this drive?
I would try to go for the 1st down, get that clock stopped, and then go from there.
All right, then maybe take your shot
if
you can get it onto the IUP side of the field here on 2nd and 2 with 35 seconds to go. Brown the back to the left of Bajent. Bajent looking to throw. Has time. Now under some pressure. Avoids the sack. There's a floater for Marlon Cook, who makes the catch and breaks out of 2 tacklers. Cook inside the 40. All the way down inside the 30-yard line. Marlon Cook with an unbelievable play on the catch and run for Shepherd. 23 seconds, clock stops with the first down. Bajent will spike it with 21 or 19 seconds now to go in the first half.
And that time, the Rams offense just narrowly averts disaster as Runya Mitchell had Tyson Bajent wrapped up, about to take him down to the ground, and Tyson throws up the prayer to Marlon Cook, and Marlon Cook was able just to make a phenomenal play, makes the catch, breaks the tackle. Like we mentioned, IUP able to tackle well so far today. Not that time on that play, and Marlon Cook able to make him pay.
Tyson channeled his inner Brett Favre on that play. Second down and 10 for the Rams after the spike. Bajent looks like a hole coming in here, and Bajent will throw it away.
Chandler Brown undressed the defender on that play. He got his money's worth out of that holding penalty. Goodness gracious.
Didn't really have much of a choice, though.
That was a tough move right there. That was a good move by the defender.
Gregory Moore coming off that edge.
So it wasn't Gregory Moore. It was Will Maher, 6'1", 249 redshirt senior, working off of that edge. And what he had done is he's been setting him up with that outside pass rush move throughout this drive. On that play, starts upfield, plants hard, and then cuts back underneath. And at that point, Chandler Brown had already opened up too much and gave up that inside leverage. So that's all. That was his last resort, was just to put his hands on the defender. I'm pretty sure his quarterback's going to thank him for not letting that defender get a free shot on him. But that was certainly a well-earned holding penalty.
Bajent under some pressure, rolls to the left, throws.
Ooh.
Incomplete, intended for Rodney Dorsey. Will bring up 3rd and forever, 4 seconds. Shepherd can take that Hail Mary shot here if they want to. Excuse me.
The way this IUP defense is playing right now at this point, I think maybe you just do a draw play and get out of here. Because right now they're inching closer and closer to a turnover, and you don't want to do something that's going to set you back going into the second half. Like we said, IUP is going to get the ball first. I don't think you tempt fate right now. I think you just do something conservative, run the ball, get out of this half, regroup, come back, fight in the second half.
I don't know, because you do have it at the 38, and IUP, I think if they're smart, will probably only send 3 guys and sit back in coverage here. So maybe you do take an end zone shot. Worst case scenario, if it gets picked off, it's in the end zone, you probably make a tackle. I mean, I don't know, Travis. I think when you have the best player in the country, I know IUP's defense has turned it up these last few possessions, or these last few plays, but I just think you could use some momentum heading into halftime based on how this first half ended. And maybe it's worth the shot here.
But the Rams defense has seemed like they've gotten a foothold and really slowed down the IUP offense. So you figure you can kick the ball off, but you got a chance to really get a 3rd and out, then you put your offense back out there. But if you go out there and you try for something risky on this play, and it blows up in your face, and it results in points, and then you have to kick it off to them again, you've put yourself in a pretty big hole. I don't think you risk that much.
Well, we'll see who's right here.
We're betting dinner on this.
3rd down and 20. There's only 3 down linemen. Bajent will take a straight drop back. He steps up in the pocket, looking toward the end zone, chucks it deep, incomplete, knocked away by IUP. And we head to halftime with our score, IUP 10, Shepherd 7. Travis said it's dinner because they did take the shot. It didn't work, but they went for it. And we will head to halftime. When we come back on this 2-minute break, we'll have the Manfred Law Firm halftime show. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Ollie's VIP North Side is the best spot to catch all your favorite teams. Join us Monday for dollar wings and Monday Night Football. Thursdays on the patio for the cornhole tourney. Friday night lights with happy hour specials, or Saturdays during or after the college games for steak night. Get a ribeye or New York steak for just $26.95. Ollie's has great food and drink menus too, along with 17 TVs to watch any game of your choice from anywhere at the bar or their outdoor patio and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP North Side. We'll see you for the game.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. you have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve. That's what we mean by treating you like family.
My kids, you know I want the best for you, don't you? We need to have a conversation.
End-of-life planning is no one's favorite discussion, but the relief of having everything in place when the hour of need arrives is a gift. Give it to your family. Plan ahead with us.
Brown Funeral Homes, a leading provider of cremations, invites you to explore the many flexible options of cremation. From environmental considerations to the benefit of greatly reduced cost, it may be the perfect answer for your family. Online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
We're at the half. Time for a scoring recap, stats and analysis, scores from around the PSAC and Super Region 1, the Division 1 Top 25, and the latest on the West Virginia University Mountaineers and Marshall University Thundering Herd. Let's get it started as we go back to the field and rejoin our TV10 broadcast team.
Here to George P. Miller Stadium. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith. Our score here at the half, IUP 10, Shepherd 7. I want to remind you that our second quarter was brought to you by Smallwood and Small Insurance. In Martinsburg, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive. Call 304-263-3361. Along with the Skinner Law Firm, injury and consumer rights lawyers, call 304-245-6613 or go to skinnerfirm.com. But as we begin halftime here, Travis, good first half. Shepherd goes 3 and out on that first drive of the ball game, and then IUP responds, or really kicks off the scoring of a DeJour Stewart touchdown reception, but really haven't seen much of him since then, so I believe he may have gone down with an injury, and for IUP they're going to need him in the second half, I think, but Hauser's filled in decently. But in terms of the other scores that have happened in this first half, Shepherd was able to come back here after getting down 10-0 after a field goal for IUP. The Rams come back with a Rodney Dorsey touchdown reception, and that makes our score 10-7 here at the half. Our scoring drive summaries are brought to you by Orr's Farm Market. Happiness grows here at Orr's, located at 682 Orr Drive in Martinsburg. Travis, what were your quick thoughts here on this first half? What really stood out to you?
Well, one thing that's kind of stood out to me is that both teams they both have big game jitters today. Both teams are playing kind of tight. Shepherd able to weather the storm. IUP came out swinging early on in the game to go on top and looked like that offense was going to be red hot for today. But that Rams defense able to regroup, make their adjustments, and really get a foothold there to slow down that Crimson Hawks offense as the half drew to a close. And the Rams offense having a little bit of trouble getting on track. The running game's not quite there. The passing game has yet to really try to make its mark down the field. They've had a couple big plays here and there, but it's usually as the result of Tyson Bajan using some type of veteran savvy to extend the play where those plays have come from. IUP has done a really good job of keeping everything in front of them, and then they've done an even better job of rallying to the ball and tackling well in space. And as this rain is really starting to drive, it's going to be interesting to see where those big plays are going to come from for both offenses coming here in the second half. Like we mentioned, IUP down a couple of stars here early on. Like we mentioned, standout wide receiver Dwayne Brown not playing in today's game. DeJour Stewart checked out of the game, had that left leg heavily wrapped, so not sure if he's going to be able to come back here in the second half. And for the Rams, the protection has been there, but it's just the checkdowns have not been there. They've not been able to catch the ball cleanly, and after that, they're really not able to make too much happen after the catch. So this is an evenly matched football game and certainly fitting for a PSAC championship game.
Shepherd looking to win its first ever Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference championship after winning 22 in the other conferences Shepherd has been a part of. But this is the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm halftime show, where it's about the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm is about seeking justice for you. Go to wvjusticelawyers.com. We'll now get you some first half stats. We'll start with IUP. Sexton, 9 of 15, 89 yards and a score. DeJour Stort, 8 carries, 38 yards, 4.8 yards a carry. Hauser, 6 carries for 36 yards. IUP has ran the ball for a total of 17 times for 79 yards, 4.6 yards a carry. Receiving yards, Debner, 3 catches, 32 yards. Smith, 2 catches for 30 yards. Stort with that 1 catch for a 10-yard touchdown. Ridley, 1 reception for 9 yards. Langley, 1 catch for 7. And Hauser, 1 catch for 1 yard. And then on the defensive side for IUP, Bruce leads the way with 5 tackles and an interception along with a pass breakup. Holmes with 5, Kelly with 4, Taylor with 3, Ingram 2, Fiesel with 2 as well. Let's see here, a little bit different stat site, so I'm trying to find how I can get the Shepherd stats. Because I can look at IUP, but it's not letting me look at Shepherd. But may have to figure that out later, head downstairs and see if I can get them for our next halftime segment here. As our first half stats, though, are brought to you by Dynamark Atlantic Security, reminding you, don't be a statistic. Protect your family, home, and business with the local alarm professionals at Dynamark Atlantic Security. Call Ben Copenhaver at 304-671-2158. And then we will take a 2-minute break, and on the other side of that break, we will hear from Colin McLaughlin back in the studio. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
With Honda, every summer adventure is the destination. Take your adventures even farther with Honda, America's most fuel-efficient full-line automaker. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 2.9% APR on a 2022 Honda Civic and a 3.9% APR on a 2022 Accord or 2023 HRV.
CMA's Honda of Winchester, 3985 Valley Pike. CMA, moving lives forward.
See dealer for financing details. Exclude Civic Si based on EPA estimate of MY20 full-line automaker fleet-wide fuel economy 2021 EPA Automotive Trends Report.
I picked Shepherd University because I'm not just a number.
One of the things that surprised me is how friendly everyone is.
I like being able to walk down the street and have the professors recognize me by name.
I'm constantly learning.
But it also has taught me so much about myself and about what I want to do with my future.
The location at Shepherd is amazing.
Cities like Washington, D.C., Baltimore are only about an hour and a half away.
You just got to see it. Once you see it, it just takes your heart.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve. That's what we mean by treating you like family.
Welcome into the halftime scoreboard show for TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. I'm Colin McLaughlin. As at the half of the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference Championship, it is Indiana University of Pennsylvania on top of your Shepherd University Rams, 10-7. Let's now get into some other scores from around the PSAC today, as all other games are final. This is the only one taking place as Westchester got a 36-27 win over Clarion on the road. Edinburgh won at home over Lockhaven 26-13. Millersville got a road win 14-10 over Seton Hill. Bloomsburg just survived Mercyhurst and got the road win by a final score of 16-13. And then trying to double check this one because for some reason it says it was a tie, so it's a misprint. There we go. There was a misprint on the PSAC website, but it was Shippensburg getting the win over Gannon to upset Gannon by a final score of 35-28. And last but not least, or excuse me, 2 more games left. My apologies. Cal U got a 31-7 win over East Stroudsburg, and now, last but not least, it was Kutztown getting the upset win over number 9 Slippery Rock. So those are your Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference scores. Let's now move on to the Division I level, where the West Virginia Mountaineers, finally in the Big 12 as a member, getting a win over the Oklahoma Sooners by a final score of 23-20 off of a walk-off game-winning field goal by Casey Legg, who is now 13 for 13 on the season, and the Mountaineers improve to 4-6, keep the bowl eligibility alive, and even better, beat Oklahoma. The other Division I team in the Mountain State, the Marshall Thundering Herd, right now in action against Appalachian State. 14:21 to go in the second quarter. The Herd's up 7-0. Some other scores around Division I football, top 25 action now. Final scores: number 2, Ohio State beat Indiana 56-14. Number 5, Tennessee beat Missouri 66-24. Number 7, LSU survives Arkansas 13-10. Number 20, Notre Dame survives Navy 35-32. Purdue upsets number 21, Illinois on the road 31-24. And Vanderbilt gets its 4th win of the year, its first in the SEC this season, upsetting number 24, Kentucky on the road 24-21. Games currently taking place in the top 25. It's number 3, Michigan, up a touchdown, 7-0 against Nebraska in the second quarter. Number 9, Alabama trails number 11, Ole Miss, 7-0. Number 10, Clemson leads Louisville, 10-7. And number 14, Penn State is up on Maryland, 14-0. Number 16, NC State leads Boston College, 14-7. Number 22, UCF leads number 17, Tulane, 17-7. Let's now get some high school football playoffs in the Mountain State scores. Just take a look at AAA football, as yesterday, the Martinsburg Bulldogs, we had the game for you, got the win over Morgantown, 42-14 in the 3-14 matchup. Number 2, Huntington took care of business over number 15, Woodrow Wilson, 62-22. Number 4, Hurricane beat number 13, University, 56-13. Number 5, George Washington survived number 12, Princeton, and got the win 31-28. Number 10, Jefferson today on the road, beating number 7, Spring Valley, 34-14. And then Thursday, it was number 8, Musselman, beating Wheeling Park, 28-23. And this one not confirmed. So if somebody has confirmation on the accurate final score, if this one is accurate, I'll give it anyway. It's number 1, Parkersburg, beating number 16, Hedgesville, 78-12 was the final score, and that one is what I've been able to find. And again, that one's not confirmed, but Parkersburg South gets the win, so that's who that's who Musselman will take on. Jefferson will play Huntington, and Martinsburg is awaiting the winner of Bridgeport Cabell Midland, which kickoffs at 7:30 tonight. And lastly, for the scoreboard show, some college basketball scores, as Shepherd women's currently in action at Frostburg State, and right now Frostburg State, coached by Jenna Eckelberry, the former head coach of the Rams, leading Shepherd 70-49, and the men's team will tip off at 6 p.m. That is the scoreboard show. Again, at the half, it is 10-7 IUP lead Shepherd. Take a 2-minute break and then hear from Nick and Travis for the second half at IUP.
You've been in an accident. Why won't the insurance company pay? Because they're trying to save money at your expense. Call Mansion Ferretti for your free consultation. We have the experience to deal with the insurance company and get you the compensation you deserve. Mansion Ferretti, when you need justice.
I pre-planned my funeral to make it easier on my family. They were relieved to know I'll get just what I want.
My family actually thanked me for taking matters into my own hands. Turns out having this awkward conversation wasn't awkward at all.
Pre-planning is my choice. There are certain things about me my family may not know. Now they won't need to guess.
The choices are yours. The peace of mind is theirs. Pre-plan your funeral with Brown Funeral Homes and everything will be taken care of. Find out more online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
Ollie's VIP North Side is the best spot to catch all your favorite teams. Join us Monday for Dollar Wings and Monday Night Football. Thursdays on the patio for the Cornhole Tourney. Friday night lights with happy hour specials, or Saturdays during or after the college games for steak night. Get a ribeye or New York steak for just $26.95. Ollie's has great food and drink menus too, along with 17 TVs to watch any game of your choice from anywhere at the bar or their outdoor patio and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP North Side. We'll see you for the game. At the Berkeley County Health Department, our motto is prevent, promote, protect. Since 1935, our mission has been to provide clinical and environmental services to protect the health of the general public. We're committed to building public health in our community by offering a wide range of services, including blood pressure screening, breast and cervical screening, family planning, counseling, lab testing, and more. We perform health inspections to make sure the restaurants you visit are clean, and we prepare and coordinate plans to respond to all hazards. The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court, Martinsburg.
We welcome you back to George P. Miller Stadium. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith. Travis here at the half. Our score, IUP leads Shepherd 10-7. And good ball game here, Travis. We got those Shepherd stats now. Shout out to both Braden Schaffner and Colin McLaughlin, because Colin did find them. I guess it was able to work online, but on my mobile device it didn't want to cooperate with me. So Colin for sending me the photo, but Braden for going and getting us that physical copy, right? You got to love the physical copy. And also Braden went down and got my gloves out of the car. So both of those, big thanks to Braden, our cameraman. But let's get into the Shepherd stats, because nobody really cares how I got them, right? But Shepherd with Bajent, 17-24, 158 passing, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Good first half, but definitely not his best out there. And the Rams not getting anything on the ground, Travis. Just 6 carries for 18 yards total, and 3 of those are Tyson Bajent runs. And the other 3 are by Ronnie Brown for 7 yards. Catching the football, Cook, 5 catches, 57 yards. Ronnie Brown, 4 catches, 20 yards. Brian Walker, 3 catches for 49 yards. Max Fisher, 2 catches for 12 yards. And then Pena leads the way in tackles with 6. McDowell with 4. Haley with 4. Devin Lynch with 3. And then when we look at these team stats between the two teams, Shepherd has ran 31 plays for 176 yards. IUP 32 plays for 168 yards. The Rams have held the ball for 13 minutes and 32 seconds. IUP has held the ball for 16 minutes and 28 seconds. The Rams are 1 of 5 on 3rd down. IUP is 3 of 8. On 4th down, Shepherd is 1 for 1. IUP is 2 for 2. And both teams are 100% in the red zone so far. So the rushing yards, I think, is the big thing that Shepherd would like to probably add to in the second half to get more balance. Just 6 carries for 18 yards. To compare that to IUP's 17 carries for 79 yards. You got to try to establish more with Ronnie Brown. Just 3 carries for him, as talented as he is, isn't enough.
Absolutely, and the running games have had their struggles, and it's extending into a second week now, because you look back to last week's contest versus East Stroudsburg. Brown only 12 carries for 37 yards in that contest, 3.1 yards per carry. Usually that's not eye-popping for most running backs, but Ronnie Brown is not most running backs, considering that he's averaging over 8 yards per carry this season. And when he's not getting the ball more, it's going to be a problem for you. There's no reason not to give him the ball, and especially with the weather the way it is, this is a game that's built for the running game, so there's no need to get fancy about it or overthink it. Put McCook in the game, put Walker in the game, and usually when you put those two big bodies in the game, that's when that Rams running game really begins to get some traction. So there's no reason to try to fight against the weather. You know, you're going to try to throw the ball around, and you're having a hard time getting sure grip on the ball. You're having a hard time getting good footing out there on the ball, so go with the flow. Run the football. You got a couple of running backs that you can trust toting the rock down the field. You put McCook in the game. You put Walker in the game. And it seems like that will go in a big way as far as getting your offense into some type of rhythm, because IUP has come in with an excellent game plan on defense as far as playing deep, playing coverage, keeping everything in front of them, and then they're doing a good job of rallying to the football and making tackles in space. So right now this Rams offense, and they've done it all year long, they've made excellent adjustments at halftime and really come out and been red hot in the second half. But right now the defense is going to have to come out and set the tone for Shepherd University.
IUP will get the ball to start this second half, and we talked about earlier about the decision to defer. So far it's a good one because IUP holds the lead, and they can get this possession and have a chance to extend that lead early in the second half. But back to the running game real quick. I do think that Shepherd's decisions maybe not to run the ball as much has a lot to do with the situations that they've had the ball in. Really only had one long drive in that first half, and that drive resulted in an interception. Besides that, it's been kind of some quicker drives and a drive before halftime where running the ball isn't really an option. So considering that, I think that does lead to those lack of carries for Brown, but you definitely want to see more, I think, with the balance, and that's when this offense really becomes dangerous. It may not be as explosive as an offense as a year ago in terms of just really quick touchdowns, but when they have their balance, they are very difficult to stop. A yard deep in the end zone goes IUP on this kickoff return, and get out to around the 30, but a flag did come in around the 11-yard line. So that should bring this kickoff return back a little bit and put IUP in a difficult situation.
Right now they are just playing in a driving rain right now. It's pretty much raining sideways.
I don't know if it's like the fog from the rain or the mist from the rain, but it just seems like even though the lights are on here at IUP that it's still kind of dark on the field to me. I don't know if it's just like how the rain is coming in. It's raining almost side to side. You can really see it in the lights, but I don't know, it's just kind of like a weird feeling here.
It's gloomy.
Yeah, that's a good word to describe it. That was how our trip was, too, and I was hoping that would eventually go away, but it just hasn't. It's just stuck with the whole day. It's just been a gloomy day. We'll see if Shepherd can make it a sunny, bright day for them if they're able to come back in the second half. Sexton will hand it off. And close to the first down marker goes Hauser. So it looks like DeJour Stewart's day may be done because we didn't see him toward the end of the first half. And now we're seeing a lot of Hauser. But Hauser's a capable back. I've seen a lot of good things, I think, from him today.
Hauser, pretty much the same guy physically. 5'10", 193 pounds compared to Stewart, 5'10", 195 pounds. So you know what those coaches are looking for when they're going out on the recruiting trail. And Adam Hauser just looks like a bowling ball so far and really makes some big carries so far. Like I said, averaging 4.7 yards per carry coming into today's game.
So second down and about 3 for IUP. 5 on the play clock. High snap. Here's a toss to the near side, and IUP has it pushed out of bounds on the jet sweep type play.
And Kyle Smith did a good job of stringing it out, but there was nobody else out there on the perimeter to come up to make that tackle. And again, it wasn't as big a play as you could have get or what you really hoped for out of a jet sweep, but he was able to get to the edge and he was able to get enough yards to move the sticks. And right now, IUP having success once again attacking the Rams on the perimeter.
Carter there on the little flip from him. So play action. Sexton with a great pump, dumps it down in the flat, complete. That will be a first down and more for IUP. Great move by Sexton to get him with the little dunk under. And on the reception for IUP was number 41, Cam Summon, the fullback.
And that's what having veteran football players on the field can do for you. Sexton able to get the over-eager Smith up in the air on the pump fake. The fullback realizing he got beat on his pass protection, but didn't give up on the play, turned to show the quarterback his numbers, and Sexton was able to get it to him. Then the big fullback was able to rumble down the field for a big gain and pick up a first down for the Crimson Hawks.
So first down and 10 for IUP with 13 minutes to go. Sexton will hand it off. Not much room on that carry. Shepherd is there with the D-line getting that initial push to slow things down. It will be second down.
It was J.D. Younger on the carry, the 5'10", 200-pound freshman. He's played 9 games this season, had 72 carries for 347 yards, averaging 4.5 yards per carry coming into today's game. And you're seeing both teams not shy about using their young depth in critical situations so far.
Yeah, IUP today partially due to the fact that they have to, it appears, with Stewart not being on the field due to what we presume is an injury. As here's a pass complete in the flat to D-Bank.
That was Diebner. Again, that was that play that they ran, the very first play of the game, where it's kind of like that cluster formation, and it's just a quick little throw out to that bubble screen. Right now we have an injured Ram down on the field, but IUP figuring that play script that they had to start the game served them pretty well, so why not dust it off and use it again?
Can't tell if that's Keyshawn Haley or McDowell down on the field. Looks to be one of the two safeties, though, for Shepherd.
I'm thinking it's McDowell.
It does look like it could be him based on stature, but I can't really see a number. But hopefully it's not too significant. Let's go ahead and take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilston Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
We welcome you back to George P. Miller Stadium. Nick Verzolini, Travis Smith, happy to have you with us. Shout out to our crew, Spencer Dupuis, our on-site producer, Braden Schaffner, our cameraman, and it is McDowell, the injured player, now coming off on, looks like to be on his own power, so that's good to see. Colin McLaughlin back in the studio. Shout out to everybody for helping us out here today as Shepherd has forced IUP into a 3rd down and 4. The Rams trail here to IUP 10-7. Need to stop, though, here to start this second half after IUP deferred to begin the ball game. 3rd and 4, under 12 to play in the 3rd quarter. Sexton with a flag on the play. Shepherd is saying it's a false start, and it is. So I'll back things up, make it difficult here, but IUP's done a lot of good things with those outside kind of comeback routes throughout the ball game that have really set up some first downs as of late. 3rd down and 9 after the 5-yard penalty. Sexton in the shotgun formation. He'll line up with 4 receivers set and 1 back in the backfield. Sexton straight drop back, throws over the middle, incomplete. Now away by Clayton Batten, but a flag comes in late. IUP's intended receiver was Hilton Ridley. Batten made a great play on the ball, I thought, but they are calling pass interference, it looks like here, Travis.
And it looks like that was more of a bad throw as opposed to bad defense on that play. It was, and again, we've called enough PSAC games to know that these referees don't call pass interference that often, so that was certainly an unusual penalty on that one, and it looked like it was good defense. The ball was thrown over the wide receiver's head, and as he's trying to back up to get the ball, the defender's in good position. He's looking back towards the ball. I'm not sure what he did to warrant that pass interference. I can certainly understand why that Shepherd sideline is upset by that call.
Yeah, I didn't see it either personally, but here we are, 1st down and 10, and what could be a huge penalty in this ball game to extend this drive for IUP after it looked like Shepherd had a stop. There's Hauser cutting it back and finding a little bit of room as Kyle Smith runs down the line to make the tackle for Shepherd. Be 2nd down and about 7 after a 3-yard pickup.
And it looks like DeJour Stewart is certainly done for the day. He's in a boot on the sideline. But Hauser certainly picking up the slack. He's not the dynamic, explosive player that Stewart is, but I tell you what, Hauser's come in and made the most of his opportunity.
He's good at cutting back and finding the lanes when they're there.
He's a slasher. He's definitely a slasher.
2nd down and 7. Sexton throws near side, caught by Grant Smith. Clayton Madden the first one there, and then Dwayne Grantham cleaning it up. It'll be 3rd and short for IUP after a 5-yard pickup, make it 3rd and 2 for the Crimson Hawks. Ball on the 36 of Shepherd. If this is 4-down territory, so we'll see how IUP plays things if Shepherd's able to get the stop. Hauser's the back on 3rd down and 2. Sexton adjusting at the line of scrimmage. We'll go. Hauser has that lane and gets the 1st down.
Yes, he's just, I mean, that's what you want out of a zone running scheme, much the way Ronnie Brown is able to put his foot in the ground and make that one move and get vertical. Hauser's very good. They went to the tight end side on that time. It was a tray look. You had the 2 wide receivers to the tight end side. You stretch that side of the field, and then Hauser, he's just reading that block. If that tackle turns his butt in or turns his butt out, he's cutting right off of that block and picking up that 1st down. Hauser just showing a good job of how you can be an effective running back in a zone running scheme.
Stewart's the better back when it comes to more explosiveness, can probably turn big plays into or no plays into big plays, but Hauser's just really solid. Like, he'd be a starter on most teams, I feel like, in the conference. There's a pass complete on the far side to Ridley. Harrison makes the tackle. Like, for a second-string running back that doesn't have a ton of carries, he looks like the starting running back on this team.
I tell you what, Stewart he might not want to be hurt for too long because he might be hard to get back out there on the field. That's a saying that Bill Parcells told Curtis Martin one time. You never want to take yourself out of the huddle because you don't know who's going in for you.
2nd down and 1. 8:45 to go in this 3rd quarter. Another long drive for the Crimson Hawks. Sexton in the I formation. He'll go play action, roll to the right and throw, and nearly intercepted. Dante Harrison breaks it up. Great coverage on the play from the young corner. The freshman has made an impact, really starting with that Lock Haven game when he had the touchdown on the pick 6. Then he came back the next week, scored 2 defensive touchdowns, and it just seems like Dante Harrison has taken over that spot opposite of Clayton Batten, has done a really nice job for a freshman.
Absolutely. He made some tremendous plays, and you could tell that the defense certainly read their scouting report on that play. They were ready for that bootleg, that little play action to the one side, coming out to that side, the fullback leaking out. All those defenders were right there waiting for it. They were not surprised by that play.
3rd and 1. There's play action again. Ooh. Throws for Grant Smith. He makes a sliding catch for a 1st down. Shepherd believes it was incomplete.
And Kyle Smith just lowers a big boom on the quarterback, but Sexton able to stand in there, take the shot, and deliver the pass. And I don't know about that one. I wish we had replay because I think that might have been a one-hopper right there.
It was very close. I thought so too, but obviously the officials have a little bit better view than we do. I was very surprised, though, just initially that Hauser didn't get the carry on 3rd and 1 after going play action on 2nd and 1. Hauser remains the back here. Sexton under center. He'll drop back, throw a fade route toward the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown IUP.
It's like Diebner.
Diebner again, that time over Harrison. Rises up and makes the catch. Daniel Diebner, more of a slot receiver, but there they go one-on-one to him, and he rises up and makes a play.
And again, not bad defense. It was good defense out there, but sometimes just a better throw is going to be able to defeat defense. It was to the wide side of the field. They made sure they isolated him on an island out there, and just a good throw and a good drive for IUP to open up this second half.
16-7. Extra point is on, and it is
the low snap, good hold.
Good. Our score, IUP 17, Shepherd 7. We will take a 60-second break, and we return. We'll have more Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Hi, this is Lauren from Orsini's right here in Martinsburg. Grilling is not just for the boys. We are a Platinum Traeger dealer carrying the Pro Series all the way up to the Timberline Series. We have every flavor of wood pellets along with accessories, rubs, sauces. Not just Traeger, we carry Utz, Meat Church, Lanes, and Dizzy Pig. We also carry a full line of Yeti products. Orsini's has everything to complete your backyard. Visit us at 360 Hack Wilson Way or at Orsinis.com.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be this football season. Join us Fridays for Martinsburg Bulldog games, Saturdays for Shepherd Rams and WVU games, and every Monday, Thursday, and Sunday nights for the NFL primetime games. We still have steak night every Wednesday, shrimp nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. So come on in and enjoy the Palace Lounge. We're located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
To IUP. Shepherd trails IUP 17-7, 7:41 to go in this third quarter. The Rams will return this short kick. It's a low kick fielded by Ronnie Brown, though, again. Ronnie from the 15 across the 30-yard line, and Shepherd will have good field position. So flag coming in here late. Naeem Alexander was tangled up with an IUP player, and I think this is going to go against the Crimson Hawks. Naeem Alexander, he makes plays on special teams in many different ways. Travis, here he might have just drew a huge penalty to give Shepherd excellent field position to begin this drive.
So usually it's big hits, but that time it might be something where he was able to draw the penalty and help his team out and get a little bit of juice on that Shepherd Rams sideline.
It will go
and
in
again,
unnecessary roughness against IUP.
There's been some untimely penalties for IUP. It was one time where they almost had the third down and almost had the Rams off the field. Now Ronnie Brown gets a good return, and then you want to tackle on 15 on the end of that.
Hartman is the back here on first down and 10 from midfield. Bajan dumps it down in the flat to Hartman. I think that's his first touch of the day, and Hartman takes it into Crimson Hawks territory before he takes a big hit on the play to the 45-yard line of IUP. Could be a nominee for Cody's Body Shop collision of the game.
And the tendency beginning to emerge when Hartman's come into the game, the Rams have been more throwing the ball. And again, that time, the tendency holds true.
Play action, fake it to Hartman, now dump it down in the flat to Rodney Dorsey. Dorsey toe taps on the sideline. Gets the first down and more. Inside the 30-yard line goes Rodney Dorsey. So Shepherd trying to go quickly here, trailing 17-7. IUP was stopped on the previous drive, but Clayton Batten was called for pass interference, which extended to the drive. A controversial call led to a first down reception on a 3rd and 1, and then a touchdown pass. Extends this lead for the Crimson Hawks. Here's a pump fake, a throw for Max Fisher, and incomplete. He was open, but Bajan sailed it. Might have been kind of a poorly ran route by Fisher. I'm not certain there.
I think Fisher was expecting just to kind of sit down in an empty spot, and Tyson Bajan expecting him to continue up the sidelines. And again, you mix in so many different faces and different places, you're going to have a lack of chemistry sometimes during the game.
And Fisher missed several games due to an injury, so getting him back the last couple of weeks. Bajan in the shotgun. Throws complete to Fisher that time, short of the sticks, inside the 25-yard line. Looks like Kelly came over to make the tackle from his inside linebacker spot. And it will be a third down for the Rams. Third and about 6 with 6:15 to go in this third quarter. Shepherd trails by 10 at 17-7. A win, and the Rams are the Region 1 champs. A loss, and things get interesting. I think you'd have to go IUP, right, because they'd be the PSAC champions?
I couldn't make an argument against it.
But we've seen crazy things in these college football rankings before. Shepherd has it here, third down and 6. Bagent throws complete to Fisher. He dives for the first down. I think he's going to be marked about a yard short. 4th and 1 for the Rams.
And it looked like Fisher had a little bit of room to work with after the catch, but he just had a hard time securing that ball. Like we mentioned, it's windy down there. It's a driving rain. Yeah, it's just hard to get a clean handle on the ball. The Rams have had just a difficult time today just getting a clean handle on the ball in the passing game.
Hartman is the back here on 4th down and 1 for Bagent in the offense.
McCook's in the game.
Bagent goes to Hartman. He keeps it himself. A read option from number 2, Tyson Bagent, gets the first down for Shepherd and moves the chains. A huge first down there, Travis, to extend this drive.
You check in McCook, and he comes across hard on a wham block up front. So Tyson Bagent reading that wham play up the middle with Blake Hartman. McCook coming across, and as the defense crashes down to account for that wham block, Bagent again showing that mobility, able to get outside and pick up a crucial first down.
Ronnie Brown returns as the running back here on 1st down and 10 for the Rams. Dorsey in motion. They'll fake the flip to him. Bagent slipping through tacklers and slides or falls forward, I should say. It's about the 10-yard line, but there's Tyson Bagent. IUP's been close, but Bagent won't let him bring him down.
Tyson Bagent, I mean, he's listed at 210 pounds, 215 pounds, but he's not a slight frame guy. He's strong, he's athletic, so it's going to take more than a hand just to knock him down. And again, picking up a positive gain on 1st down, so you're not faced with 2nd and long. You still got some options here.
Yeah, 4-yard pickup, 2nd down and 6 for Shepherd. Bagent will throw again. Throws to Dorsey, tipped and intercepted by IUP. Here comes the Crimson Hawks down the near sideline, high-stepping all the way into Shepherd territory before Ronnie Brown knocks him out of bounds. It was picked off on the play by, I believe, number 26 for IUP, which is Chuck Ingram with the interception, and that sets up the Crimson Hawks. Rodney Dorsey, it went off the hands of him and into the hands of Ingram. And what a turning point in this ball game. It looked like Shepherd was going to get right back into it. Now the defense is going to have to come through huge for the Rams as IUP will take over at the 31-yard line.
And Dorsey had a good catch to get the Rams' only touchdown, but a couple other trips down in the red zone. A miscommunication leads to an interception. That time a dropped pass leads to a turnover. So Rodney Dorsey not having a good day in the red zone for this Rams offense, and right now this Rams defense has a huge challenge on their hands to try to get the ball back for that offense.
Sexton under center. He'll run the ball with Hauser. Hauser cuts it back up the middle. Another good run for him.
And now IUP can just completely change what they want to do on offense by just pounding the ball. Now they just want to eat clock. Now it's game management time for the Hawks. The momentum's on their side. They realize that the weather is really not going to permit Shepherd to do what they want to do on the offensive side of the ball, so they're going to have to be patient. So right now, even though we're still in the third quarter, time is a huge factor against the Shepherd Rams if they look to get back in this contest.
Sexton in the shotgun formation, but extra blockers in front of him on a 2nd down and about 6. Play action. He throws to the outside and incomplete. I'll bring up a 3rd down and long, 3rd and 6. If Shepherd can get a stop here, the interception still matters because the Rams were right on the cusp of getting some points, but it hurts a little bit less if you're Shepherd.
And that's a risky throw to the wide side of the field. If Batten gets his head around on that one, we've seen him make tremendous plays so far this year. That certainly would have been one that he'd been able to pick off, but was more concerned with the wide receiver didn't locate the football, and it fell harmlessly to the turf that time.
17-7 IUP. Coming up on 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Sexton looks to the near side. That's got to be PI on Dante Harrison.
Yeah, it may not be pass interference, but they're going to call holding.
Yeah, I think so. As those two were changing or locked up there between Debner and Harrison on the near side, but I thought he got a little bit maybe too handsy, never really turned to make a play on the football, which is always the big thing when you get into those pass interference or holding situations.
I'm curious to see. I'm betting that it's going to be a holding.
Travis, you're 0 for 2.
0 for 2. Oh, my goodness. No more bets today.
Don't play the Powerball. You're not going to win. Under 3 minutes to go, and these penalties keep hurting the Rams. Back-to-back drives now where the drives are extended by a pass interference. That one, I think, was more clear than the other one.
Yeah. The other one, that was a bad call.
Yeah, I agree.
That one right there, he had no choice but to call.
First down and 10. They'll hand it off of Hauser. Hauser finds his way to get through the hole again and bring up second down and manageable for IUP. Two things missing for Shepherd today offensively. Number one, I think, has to be Ryan Beach, because you could argue that both those interceptions that have been thrown today were potentially on Dorsey. The one goes off his hands. The other looked like he ran the wrong route or a different route than Bajent thought he was going to run. Maybe it was an option, I don't know. But you have Beach in that slot position where he's normally in those same situations that Dorsey's playing in, and maybe he makes those plays. I don't know. But I think that's a key thing that Shepherd's missing today, is his presence as Sexton goes play action, throws back, shoulder caught. Down to the 1 yard line goes IUP on the reception. Great catch by Ridley.
And Hilton Ridley, a big target down here near the red zone, 6'3", 195-pound redshirt sophomore. Last week had a big game, had 4 catches for 48 yards. And his last matchup versus Shepherd last year, he had 1 catch for 15 yards, but it went for a touchdown.
So all the way down to the 1 yard line.
And you talk about injuries, certainly Ryan Beach is huge for that Shepherd Rams offense, but you can't take anything away from IUP because they're missing two of their top studs on the offensive side of the ball.
Penalty on Holloway, I mean, half a distance from the 1 is the half-yard line.
Yeah.
Not a huge penalty here, but IUP's on the cusp of extending this lead over Shepherd to 24-7, or at least 23, depending on the extra point. It's just a few inches away from the end zone. 1:38 to go in the third quarter. Sexton in the I formation. Sexton will turn around, give it to Hauser. He is stopped by Kyle Smith.
What an individual effort that time by Kyle Smith. Gets penetration in the backfield and just able to wrangle the running back down to the ground.
Well, Kyle Smith, he wants this PSAC championship. His quote to me and his quote to his team before the season was, I want to win the PSAC, don't mess it up. And you can see on that play that Kyle Smith knows that their chances are obviously limited with another touchdown here. Sexton goes play action, throws to the end zone, wide open, touchdown IUP.
He had his choice. There was like 2 or 3 guys wide open in the back of the end zone.
It's Langley that time, the backup tight end, who was wide open to give IUP a 23-7 lead over Shepherd.
Great play call that time by IUP. Like you mentioned, Cole Laney, the 6'6", 240-pound redshirt sophomore, transferred over. He was a walk-on at Temple. Wasn't getting any action, but shows up big today for the IUP Crimson Hawks.
Extra point team running on for the Crimson Hawks. It's Nick Andarowski, the freshman kicker, and his kick is up, and it is good. IUP 24, Shepherd 7. We'll take a 60-second break. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
I'm Jonathan Bodwell, Bodwell Insurance Solutions, your local Medicare and life insurance agency. We are here to help you navigate the Medicare maze. We represent all of the major carriers, and you do not pay any more to go through us than if you go directly through a carrier. But if you go through us, you have a local professional to help you with all your Medicare needs, not a voice that could be in some other part of the world. Bodwell Insurance Solutions, your local Medicare agency. BodwellInsuranceSolutions.com or 304-283-0864.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm your new bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs? Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596.
George P. Miller Stadium, where IUP holds a 24-7 lead over Shepherd with 52 seconds to go in this third quarter. The Rams are back deep to return here on the kickoff following an interception and then a great drive by the Crimson Hawks to get into the end zone. Hartman will return this kick from around the 25-yard line. There goes Blake Hartman out to around the 40. So again, Shepherd has good field position, but haven't really done much with it today, Travis, and that's definitely been pretty surprising, I think, because it seems like Shepherd's getting good field position throughout the game, but IUP's defense, especially in the red zone, has been big, coming up with 2 interceptions on their own side of the field.
Inside the red zone.
Yeah.
So that's always going to be a gut punch.
Well, I think the first one wasn't technically in the red zone, but it was around the 30, 25-yard line, so not quite the red zone because Shepherd came in 1 for 1 in the red zone here in this first half. But late here in the third quarter, they run Ronnie Brown, and he finds no room. Haven't ran him much today, and now down 17. They try to get him involved, but IUP is right there to swallow it up in the backfield.
And again, like if you haven't established that run early in the game, it's going to be tough to try to do it like this late in the third quarter with all the momentum going against you, because right now IUP just – right now, they hold all the cards because they really don't have to do anything. They can just kind of sit back and react because now you have to force the issue.
No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10. Bajent pumps once, pumps again, rolling to the right, throws down the field, caught by a sliding E.J. Morgan at the 49-yard line.
Goodness gracious, he threw a dart. Last play of the third quarter.
So Shepherd has the fourth quarter down 17. Tyson Bajent, he's a man of miracles. We've seen it before. This would be quite the miracle. Here's Shepherd down 17. We'll see what the Rams have. You don't want to count them out quite yet, though. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV. We're back in 60.
Before the invitations and the dress, the flowers, cake, candles, or vows, there was an answer to a question proposed with a ring.
Bechtel Jewelers knows that an important part of your wedding happens before the I-dos. We're a diamond store with an engagement and bridal jewelry selection that's both exciting and accessible.
On the big day, there's everything else, and there's the ring. Make sure you get this one right at Bechtel Jewelers in Inwood.
You've been in an accident. The choice of a lawyer may be the biggest decision you make for you and your family's future. At Mansion Ferretti, we offer a free consultation and no fees until we win your case. Call us today and protect your future. Mansion Ferretti, when you need justice.
We welcome you back here to Shepherd IUP here at George P. Miller Stadium. Rain continues to steadily fall here in Indiana, Pennsylvania. Pass fallen incomplete, nearly intercepted again there. It looked like almost Travis.
RPO action. Tyson Bajent pulls it. Looked like he tried to go to Dorner on the play and not able to get a clean catch on it again. Like we mentioned, the elements has taken its toll on the Rams passing game.
I haven't seen much of Dorner today. I mean, he seemed to be really starting to get into a rhythm for Shepherd, but I haven't really seen him much. As here's a pass to Brian Walker, and it's caught at the 35-yard line. Be third down for the Rams. Under 15 minutes to go as we begin this fourth quarter here on TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith.
And in that first drive that the Rams had in the second half, it looked like they were going to go tempo, try to change things up. Sometimes that's the way you can jumpstart an offense, but they really haven't tried to stick with it. They've gone back to a more methodical approach, and just things haven't been there for them. And E.J. Morgan working across the middle. Ball slips out of his hands.
And Bajan throwing from Morgan incomplete. Be fourth down and about about 5, and Shepherd has to make a decision here, probably going to go for it.
You have to, because IUP, even when they've been able, when they haven't been able to score points, they have been able to pick up first downs and eat clock. And right now, it's just, not quite hitting the panic button, but you have to play with a sense of urgency at this point.
Bajan on fourth down and 5. Looks to throw. Throwing deep toward the near sideline for Brian Walker, who makes the catch for a first down. Walker down to the 25-yard line. Had a few issues with some drops earlier, but there when you need them, the 6'5 tight end, the senior, comes through for Shepherd.
Walker running that corner route. E.J. Morgan did a good job of just sitting down out there in the flats, making that cornerback have to come up. So you're going to pull that corner up to the line of scrimmage, and that's going to open up a little bit more space for that tight end trying to work in over the top.
Bajan, straight drop back, under some pressure, throws again, and there's Walker again, down to the 20. It was number 87, Brian Walker. Our third quarter was brought to you on TV10 by Smallwood and Small Insurance, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive.
And you mentioned Dorner being on the field. One person that we don't see on the field is Marlon Cook. You see Alfonso Foray, you see Dorner, no Cook.
Wonder if there's maybe an injury there. Second down and 4. Bajan throws and incomplete again, that time off the hands of Cam Dorner. Drops continue to pile up for Shepherd, presuming due to the rain here. Third down and 4 coming up. Also, Chris Ross and the Milestone Real Estate Group brought that third quarter to us. Buying or selling a home and don't know where to go, call Chris Ross or go to callchrisross.com. Third and 4 for the Rams. Fourth quarter, 13-17 to go. Bajan and the Rams offense down by 24-7, I should say. Bajan takes the snap, looks to throw, near side, incomplete off the hands of Alfonso Foray. He would have been tackled, I believe, short of the first down marker anyway, but now it's fourth down and 4. The rain continues to come down here at IUP. Bajan and the offense needs this one. Fourth down and 4. Ronnie Brown is the back, lined up in the pistol formation behind Tyson Bajan, and Shepherd will take a timeout. We'll keep it here. 13-13 to go here in the fourth quarter. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith, Spencer Dupuis, our on-site producer, Braden Schaffner, our cameraman, and back in the studio is Colin McLaughlin. Travis, been a competitive game so far, but Shepherd just seems to not be able to make these catches when they need them and continue to have these drops. And now you got 4th and 4. You're not kicking a field goal. You're down 17. Still plenty of time, and you have the best player in the country. So the feeling is still, I think, positive if you're Shepherd that you can get back into this thing and make this comeback, but it's going to be tough. What are you drawing up here on 4th and 4?
I don't think you want to go to anything over the sidelines because you've just not had a lot of success. Some type of shallow crossing route where the quarterback can throw the ball and he doesn't have to put a lot of steam on it, and it's going to allow the receiver to get a firm grip on the ball.
Marlon Cook is back on the field along with Fisher and Morgan are the receivers. Probably been the most sure-handed guys today. Brian Walker is in at tight end. He goes in motion from right to left. Ronnie Brown is the back to the right of Bajan on a 4th and 4. Tyson Looking to throw, has Walker wide open for the first down inside the 10-yard line. I think at this point, too, Travis, we've seen enough drops from these other receivers. Just get these guys on the field. Keep Walker in at tight end because he's your biggest and kind of your safety blanket there, and I think that's how you got to play it.
Yeah, he's been your most reliable target, so there's no need to try to ice skate uphill. Use what's working.
Marlon Cook, good to see him on the field. Not certain why he was off for so long, but here we go. Bajan hands off to Ronnie Brown. He makes a cut. Ronnie Brown inside the 5, running with all the effort of the entire Rams offense, and gets down to the 1-yard line. Ronnie Brown, can't tell me he doesn't want to win. Second down and goal. Shepherd with an IUP player injured. We'll have an injury timeout. 12:29 to go in the fourth quarter. Shepherd trails IUP 24-7. Ronnie Brown nearly got into the end zone.
Pure desire.
Wonder what Shepherd will go to here on a second and goal.
Well, ball's going to be on the right hash. Thinking it's going to be something where probably you have your wide receivers lined up to the wide side of the field, but you got Walker matched up one-on-one on the backside with Ronnie Brown over there on that side.
You also got to consider the most dangerous weapon in this situation, Michael McCook.
There you go, the secret weapon.
He shouldn't be a secret by now, but you never know. On second down and goal, 12:29 to go.
I mean, right now, like time isn't like super pressing, so you can still try to run for this touchdown. And again, I just think it's a good lineup. Like when you have Walker and McCook out there on the field at the same time, the Rams are a pretty good running team when those two guys are out there.
I really think that, Travis, if you can get into the end zone here, it's going to come down to defense for Shepherd in the end, because the Rams, I think they just need that touchdown to really build the momentum for them. But we'll see. Bajent with McCook now in motion from left to right. They'll go Ronnie Brown up the middle. Brown dives towards the end zone. Touchdown, Shepherd. Ronnie Brown takes it in from 2 yards out, and the Rams are back on the board. Our score, IUP 24, Shepherd 13. 12 minutes to go. Still plenty of time for a comeback for Shepherd.
You put the big boys in the game, let them do the dirty work for you. There's no need to overthink that one. You put in McCook, you got Walker in the game, you hand the ball off to Ronnie Brown up the middle. You run right behind your big right guard and Ty Lucas, and he's able to clear the way for you.
And along with center Adam Stilley, who was honored for his GPA. I believe has the best GPA in the conference, so he got a scholarship before the game. Haney's extra point is good. It was a rocket off the leg of Haney. So 24-14 our score, 12:06 to go in the fourth quarter. We're back in 60 seconds. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Gary DeMarco team at Modern Realty Results believes buying a new home requires a dedicated team that cares about your needs and concerns. Our experienced team is from the area, and we care about this community because it is our home as well. Whether it's a $30,000 home or a $3 million home, we will be hands-on and invested throughout the entire process. Thinking of buying or selling in West Virginia? We've got the tri-state area covered.
Sends it on the ground on the kickoff, and ball's out, but IUP dived back on top of it around the 17-yard line. It was a weird kind of kickoff return for IUP, and we could have had a huge momentum shift there, Travis, if the Rams were able to recover, but the way that ball bounced, it bounced right there for IUP. So
Well, that's what you're hoping for when you go in those squib kicks. One, it's going to limit the return abilities, but when you got weather like this, you never know how that ball's going to bounce or how they're going to be able to handle it. So it's almost like an extended onside kick, and the Rams had a big shot at it, and Keyshawn Haley came down there, lowered a boom on somebody, but he wasn't able to come up and get that ball.
Sexton under center, first down and 10. They're going to go Hauser off the left side, and IUP just keeps running the football right at Shepherd. Dwayne Granfa makes the tackle. He's second and short for the Crimson Hawks.
That's one of the few times that the Crimson Hawks have chose to run in the interior of that O-line, because the Rams have been pretty stout up front as far as like stopping the run up the middle. Where they've had their issues is stopping the run off tackle, but IUP has done a good job of mixing things up and keeping that defense on their heels.
11:23 to go in this fourth quarter. Shepherd trails at 24-14. Sexton on a second down and about 1. Hauser remains the back. And they'll feed him. Hauser bouncing off tackle, and he's got another first down carry. Harrison brings him down. Hauser has had quite the day on the ground for IUP. The good thing, if you are a Shepherd fan, the season does not end today with a loss. This is still technically the regular season, but it would change Shepherd's ranking for the playoffs. And obviously, you want to be conference champ. It's something that Shepherd strived for all season.
You don't want to back into the playoffs.
No. But that is one way to look at it, as this game does matter, but it won't be the end-all, be-all. As there goes Hauser into the secondary. Pena finally brings him down on the Shepherd side of the field. This defense has really struggled against this IUP offensive line and running attack, and Hauser has just carved them apart, it seems like. And now a Ram is down. Looks like Keyshawn Haley down. You already saw McDowell go down earlier, but he's back on the field, and now Haley down around the 41-yard line.
And that's the thing, when your safeties are the ones that are coming up having to be the primary defenders stopping that run, it's going to take a toll. We mentioned like how the Rams trying to run the ball in the second half and not being able to get any traction. You see the benefit of running the ball early in the game, because now in the fourth quarter, especially in a cold, rainy game, those defenders are a little less eager to make that tackle when you've been pounding on them all game. So you're seeing the benefits of a running game that's established early on, because it's going to start getting you those big chunk plays in the second half.
So Shepherd trails 24-14, 10:16 to go in the fourth quarter. Keyshawn Haley will walk off on his own power. So IUP has it at the 47-yard line.
So it's a new set of downs for IUP, first and 10. Inside Ram territory, ball placed at the
Sexton adjusting at the line of scrimmage.
Just over 10 minutes left to play.
Two receivers to the far side for IUP as the clock approaches 10 minutes to go in this fourth quarter, and Shepherd trails by 10.
Plenty of time. It has 25 seconds and 10 minutes left to play now in the game.
Reset the play clock.
And they're going to let it run all the way down. And they're doing it the smart way. Their offensive linemen not in their stance. They're standing up. You don't want to get those big fellas tired out, so you don't make them get down in their stance before they absolutely have to.
Man goes in motion, and now a false start. Goes against the running back.
And you see Hauser's like, yep, come on out of the game. You had your chance, and you blew it. Get out of there.
That penalty going on number 34, J.D. Younger. Younger gets penalized there at the false start. First down and 15 now.
Younger, a bit too young.
Wonder if he's heard that one before.
Yeah. Oh, if he hadn't, he heard it on the sideline, mixed in with a few other words.
First down and 15 now for the Crimson Hawks. We'll go Hauser, and this time he's stopped. Shepherd comes up and makes the play. Nathan Muley, Emilio Pena, and Devin Lynch combining for that tackle. Great job by the Rams. First time in a long time stopping Hauser.
For a loss, and right now the defense is ahead of the chains. Now the offense, a little bit of pressure. Do you stay conservative and just keep the ball on the ground and keep that clock rolling? Or do you try to open things up and try to get this first down to maintain possession?
I think you keep her on the ball. I mean,
yeah.
2nd and 15. We're coming up on under 9 to play, 8:44 to go. And we got a timeout, I believe, as the officials come in.
It's something to
reset some clock, I think.
I don't know if they're going to try to reset the play clock or not, which would be a little bit disingenuous here.
Still no call on the field officially, as IUP will take time to make some substitutions.
Yeah. No, they just stopped. And this is a gift for the Crimson Hawks because they had heavy personnel on the field that they're now able to substitute off.
I'm not certain what is exactly happening here, Travis, but they stopped the clock.
The play clock's still at 0.
Play clock ran all the way down to 0. And now they're running the clock under 8.5 minutes. So this is very interesting, Travis. I'm not certain what's going on here from the IUP side. Clock is rolled down to 8:18. I think the officials are going to now conference and reset things here, and because like 30 seconds just rolled off the clock after, I don't know what caused them to reset the play clock or whatever the situation was there, but this is obviously important seconds for Shepherd.
Word as the officials are surrounded, they look like they're in the Crimson Hawks huddle, trying to decide what this call is. As it was 8:30 left to play in the game.
We are just waiting here to see what they're doing, as there's 8:19 on the clock, and let's hear the official to.
What about the game clock? What about the game clock? Fucking game clock!
The game clock has not changed. They said the play clock will be kept by the officials, but the game clock still says 8:19. And now Ernie McCook, of course, is going to come out and
he's
have
pointing
a
at the
discussion with the
scoreboard.
official.
And I'm pretty sure he's not talking about the play clock. That was a lot of time that ran off the clock.
It's a good 30 seconds or so.
It's been too good of a football game for it to be messed up by some less than up and up work on the play clock or on the game clock. Like, get it fixed and let these guys on the field decide it. That's not the way you want this game to. You don't want it to come down to that.
Yeah, and now it's almost caused like a extended break here, so the players, the momentum of the entire game, you know, for Shepherd looking at it, they just got a big stop, made it 2nd down and 15.
And both teams at this point should be angry. One, if you're IUP, I got the momentum. I want to keep the clock on. I want to keep playing. You keep stopping that. And Shepherd, they're upset. They're like, we want to get the ball back. They're playing with a sense of urgency. So at this point, nobody on the field should be happy.
The official now will reset that clock. 8:39. That sounds about right.
And still, the play clock is still sitting at 0.
The play clock is now being kept on the field.
Okay.
So they must be having some sort of issue with the clock, so they're going to keep it on the field by the back judge.
I imagine the torrential downpour is.
That's true, yeah. Power outlets or whatever is going toward that clock.
Yeah, nobody wants to mess with that electrical socket in this weather.
I know the rain kind of forced us to move our camera inside next to us. Luckily, we have enough room up here for us, the other broadcasts going on, and of course, the Shepherd coaches. So we appreciate IUP for making room for us here on the road as 8:32 to go, and they'll go with the jet sweep. The Rams stop it there. Devin Lynch setting the edge for Shepherd. Will be 3rd and long now for IUP. And now the play clock has turned back on, but I don't think we have to really worry about it.
The Rams call a timeout.
With 8:14 to go in this one, let's go ahead and just take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Laura. Hey, Laura. What's with the sunglasses? Ouch.
The word is spreading. Bechtel Jewelers is home to some dangerously brilliant diamonds.
See the difference at Bechtel Jewelers in Inwood. Sunglasses not included.
Here.
Third down and 15 for
20 seconds. No, we're back. Sorry. We welcome you back to IUP. I'm thinking for some reason I took a 60, but I took a 30. I was smart there. I was like, we're going to be in trouble. We're going to get the play already. But here we go. We are back. Third down and 15 for IUP. 8:17 to go. 20 seconds on the play clock. It may or may not be accurate, but who cares, right? We got the guys on the field, and they're going to determine this game, according to Travis Smith. So here we go. Third and 15, 8:17 to play. Sexton runs the ball with Hauser, and Hauser is stacked up. That will be fourth down. Shepherd will get the ball back. The time is important here as you keep the clock rolling. That's the big thing. If you can limit the possessions remaining in the ball game for Shepherd, you limit opportunities for Tyson Bajan to get this team back into it. And we talked about, too, Shepherd this year doesn't seem to be that big play, instant offense type of team that they were maybe last year. Still a very efficient offense, but
I still feel like it's a better offense this year just because of the balance.
Yeah,
where they're not having to rely.
Today we haven't had the balance.
They haven't had the balance because you think back how many games last year where Tyson Bajan had to throw the ball 45 plus times a game. That's not healthy for an offense.
Rodney Dorsey lets this one roll all the way down to the 6-yard line.
It has not been a good day for Rodney Dorsey. It has been a couple critical situations that he's been on the bad side of.
7:20 to go in this fourth quarter. There is time. It's a two-possession game. You're going to need some quick offense here from Shepherd. You can, I think, pretty much abandon the run at this point until you get maybe in the red zone. Then maybe you go back to it if you get in a similar situation like last time, because there is enough time to do that as the rain has just really picked up. It'll be fun getting out of here, Travis.
I'm glad I'm not driving.
Yeah, well, we still got to carry the equipment down, which is going to be the main part that I'm worried about.
He just floated on down the river.
Bajan takes the snap, play action. Dumps it down in the flat, complete. There's Rodney Dorsey. Dorsey gets across the 10. Rams only pick up a few yards on the play. 3-yard gain on the 7 minutes to go. Bajan adjusting at the line. Bajan drops back, throws. Brian Walker caught short of the sticks. Brought down on the play. It'll be third down for the Rams. And about 2.5, 3 yards here for Shepherd. 6:35 to go in this fourth quarter. Walker moves from the far side to the near side. Ronnie Brown is the running back on a 3rd and 2.5. Bajan takes the snap, throws, incomplete, intended for Max Fisher. It's 4th down. Normally, you'd probably punt. Maybe in this situation, you might have to go for it. Only 6:16 remaining in this game, Travis.
And again, you mentioned the chemistry between Tyson Bajan and his receivers early on in the game. And again, another play just like that where he's expecting the wide receiver maybe to break back outside, and the wide receiver works more inside, and it's just those little bit of miscues and miscommunication and not able to get a clean handle on the ball that's just led to the struggles on the offensive side of the ball for Shepherd.
The Rams, I think, just burned a timeout, so they only have one remaining here in this fourth quarter, trailing IUP 24-14, 6:16 left I mean, if you don't get this first down, the game is pretty much all but over because IUP will have it in the red zone, so you need like a turnover to get the ball back and have a chance. But our fourth quarter is presented to you on TV 10 by Smallwood and Small Insurance, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive. In Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. Go to HagerstownFord.com. If you don't like it, they'll take it back. Shepherd trails IUP here in the PSAC Championship, 24-14, 6:16 to go. It is 4th down and 3. Bajent in the shotgun. Ronnie Brown is the back. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far for the Rams.
4th down and 3. Bajent sends
Fisher goes in motion. Bajent looks to throw. Throws off the hands of Max Fisher and incomplete. And does that not just sum up this ball game? Drop passes for Shepherd have been crucial. And IUP takes over on downs.
You call a timeout, you draw up the right play, you get a wide receiver that's wide open. Fisher right in the middle of the field. You can even tell Tyson Bajent took something off of it, and the ball just squirts right out of his hands. I mean, you can blame it on the elements, but IUP had to play in the same elements that Shepherd did, and they did not have the drops.
Well, I think the key is IUP's been able to run the ball. Shepherd just hasn't, so you've
nailed
taken
it.
some of the pressure off of IUP, or off of your receivers when you're able to run the ball. I mean, now it's all on the passing game. The IUP knows what's coming, so they know how to defend it, and it's just been tough. And final 6 minutes of this one, if Shepherd can get a turnover, there's still a chance here, but another touchdown probably puts things away, or any points potentially, as there's Hauser running hard off that left side. What a job for him, subbing in for DeJour Stewart, who started the game, and he was very explosive.
He was
so
red
Shepherd
hot.
would have had issues I think,
Yeah.
stopping the run either way, but the fact that he got injured and Hauser came in and hasn't missed a beat.
Man, oh, man. Tell you what, that's credit to your recruiting when you're able to go out and you got a dynamic player in Stewart, but you're also able to go out and have that type of quality, young depth. So you got those players for years to come. If they choose to stay here at IUP and the way they're getting used and the way they're producing, they have no reason to leave, and Crimson Hawks fans can certainly feel good about their future.
2nd down and 4. They're going to throw the ball, corner of the end zone, incomplete. Pass intended for Ridley. It'll be 3rd down and 4. I'm a little surprised to see them go the throw, but I think they were hoping to catch Shepherd off guard for a quick touchdown.
Very similar to the touchdown that they scored down on the other end zone, but that time they went to Riedner, I believe.
Yes, for the touchdown earlier.
For the touchdown earlier. Diebner, excuse me. Went to Diebner earlier. That time they went to Ridley, who's also a big target.
Their two names.
Yeah.
Riedner.
Yeah. Ridley again, 6'3", 195 pounds.
So Sexton under center. Hauser is the running back. Diebner goes in motion. They'll go to Hauser running off the right side. He cuts it back up inside the 10. Harrison trying to strip it, and he's brought down on the play, short of the end zone and short of the first down. It'll be 4th and 1 with 5 minutes to go. So interesting here for IUP because a field goal only extends your lead to 13. I think you still probably kick it, but I wouldn't be surprised maybe to see them go for it, and they are going to go for it. It is only 4th and 1, and Shepherd would be backed up on their own side of the field.
There you go, and you risk something crazy happening if you try to put a field goal unit out there. Maybe a bad snap, a bad hold, and something could happen.
Especially with the rain.
And, yeah, especially with the rain, so there's no reason to risk it to go ahead and pound it.
Sexton, play action. Pumps, throws to the end zone, incomplete. So the Rams get the stop they needed. IUP burned about 2 minutes on that drive, but still the same deficit, 24-14. It's going to take a miracle, but there's still a little bit of a chance, Travis.
The Rams defense rose to the occasion. They got a very difficult situation that they had to fight themselves, that they had to fight their way out of. So they're still giving that offense a chance to get back into this game. Yes, you got a long way to travel, but this offense has had no problem putting points on the board. You got to put it together right now.
Now, with one timeout only left, we are in touchdown onside kick situation. But first, you got to get in the end zone before we start worrying about all that. Bajent, 4:23 to go. Ronnie Brown is the back. Bajent just now, Adam Stilley just now running onto the field. The center, the officials have stopped the game for some reason. What else is new in this one?
It's getting a little crazy down the stretch. Guess the pressure's getting to them too.
Hey, it's a big game for everybody, right? And I think overall the officiating's been decent when it comes to the actual calls made on the field. But there were some interesting things at the timeouts earlier, or the time earlier. Bajent runs across the 15. He slides down a few yards short of the first down, and Shepherd needs to go quickly. 4 minutes to go in this fourth quarter, down by 10 at 24-14. Bajent in the offense. This could be a Harlan Hill type moment for Tyson Bajent if he's able to lead this comeback in the PSAC championship. Bajent, straight drop back. Throws complete to Ronnie Brown underneath. Brown gets a good block. Ronnie Brown's got some room. Ronnie Brown will step out of bounds at the 34-yard line. 3:42, 24-14. Bajent,
good football
offense.
I thought he got out of bounds.
He did, but I think it starts to roll as soon as they get on the ball, right? I could be wrong. That might not. The out of bounds rules are always weird. It's like if you're forced out, I don't know. But essentially, first down there, that will stop the clock again.
Yeah, that was weird. He picked up the first down. He ran out of bounds. I don't see why the clock didn't stop the play before.
It did stop it, but then they did start to roll it like it was a normal first down. 2nd and 1 as he did not get the first there. Bajent in the offense operating. Bajent throws near side, sails it, intended for Marlon Cook and incomplete.
So it looked like the ball slipped out of his hands that time.
Luckily, when it slipped, it sailed and wasn't thrown inside where it could have been an interception there. 3rd down and 1 for the Rams. Exactly 3 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. Shepherd trails at 24-14. The Rams only have one timeout. IUP has 2. Bajent in the offense adjusting things here. We'll see if they draw up here on 3rd and 1. Bajent goes Ronnie Brown. Brown sheds off one tackler. He has the first down and more out toward midfield. I think with those run plays, too, anytime you have a run in this situation, those D linemen are going to stay on top of the ball carrier 2nd or 2 a little bit longer just to try to stretch things out. But midfield, after Brown gets the first down, 2:48 to go now in this fourth quarter. Bajent adjusting at the line of scrimmage as the offense has it at midfield. Tyson all day to throw, only 4 pass rushers. Bajent throws deep down the field and caught inside the 20-yard line. That's some of that backyard football that Bajent can do at times. There's Marlon Cook in on the reception. Cook goes down at 2:28 to go in the fourth quarter. Rams back on the ball.
And at this point, communication is going to be critical. You're not going to be able to get in the huddle, so you're going to have to be able to relay those signals to those wide receivers on the far side of the ball. Make sure everybody gets set, so when that ball is set to be snapped, you can go and get the play off and not waste any time.
Bajent takes the snap. He throws toward the end zone. Double coverage for Brian Walker, nearly intercepted. That would have sealed the deal. For IUP, it was Bruce.
And it was a similar play that they hit Walker on earlier, but that time the corner didn't have to honor the wide receiver running the shorter route, so he just sagged back to take away that corner route.
Yeah, they hit Walker for that 4th down conversion with that similar type double coverage catch that he was able to make earlier but good coverage that time. A little bit of a sailed throw. 2:06 to go in the fourth quarter. Shepherd trails by 10 at 24-14. Ronnie Brown and Max Fisher along with Brian Walker, the receivers to this near side as Bajan looks to throw. Rolling to the right. Bajan throwing and throws it away. 1:58 to go in the fourth. Shepherd still trails by 10 at 24-14. Third down and 10. We need a touchdown and a onside kick at this point if you're Shepherd with only one timeout remaining, but first got to get into this end zone. Bajan.
They're able to punch it in without having to burn that last timeout. That's going to be a huge asset to have in their back pocket.
Bajan looking to throw. Steps up, throws toward the middle of the field, tipped and intercepted. A flag comes in. I think we're going to have pass interference. IUP, though, arguing that it was tipped. But I think
it has to be tipped at the line of scrimmage.
Right. And the interference occurred before the tip, essentially, is how I would look at it. Because I think if it's tipped like in the middle of the field by a linebacker and then interference occurs after that, then it doesn't matter. But it's like you said, it was kind of tipped before the interference. The interference had already occurred, which allowed them to get the tip, if that makes sense.
So let's see if the Shepherd Rams have a chance to live to fight another day or another down at least.
Officials are discussing, and that's never necessarily a good thing depending on what they rule, but I think they are going to keep the ball with Shepherd. And there it is, pass interference against IUP.
It's going to be a fresh set of downs. Also, I believe that McCook's going to have a chance to determine when that clock starts to roll as well.
And Shepherd has it at the 2, so you have all your options. I still think here with 1:51, if you want to run the ball with Ronnie Brown and just Marlon Cook is left all by himself here on the near side. Now a corner comes out to defend him. First and goal from the 2. Bajan looks to throw. Throws to the back of the end zone from Morgan. Caught. Touchdown, Shepherd. E.J. Morgan with his first career touchdown, and it comes at a great time. 24-20 our score with 1:46 to go in the fourth quarter. Morgan becomes the 24th Shepherd Ram to catch a touchdown pass from Tyson Bajan with 1:46 to go in the fourth quarter.
A great play design. The two outside corners really pressed up hard on Cook especially, and when Cook broke inside, what that did was pull that corner in with him, and then Morgan was able to work out over the top, work that back corner of the end zone, and just a perfect pass to Morgan.
High snap, an excellent hold, and the kick is up and good. Shepherd 24 trails IUP 24-21. We will take a 30-second break. When we return, we'll have kickoff. This is Shepherd Rams Football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Welcome you back to George P. Miller Stadium. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith. Travis, 24-21 our score. Shepherd has the onside kick with just 1 timeout remaining for the Rams and 2 timeouts remaining for IUP. Your young kicker, Jacob Haney, first of all, needs to come through here, and he could have to come through for you again, depending on what happens in these final few moments. But Shepherd looking to get an onside kick. With the 1 timeout, they might be able to get the ball back with 1:46. That's a good amount of time, but you need this onside kick if you're Shepherd. Haney's kick, it takes a good bounce, but it is recovered by IUP. Shepherd trying to make an effort for it here late. It was Ridley, the receiver, to haul it in. So IUP will take over around midfield.
And that was a good onside kick. What you wanted to do was run along the carpet and then take the big hop.
Still taking a while to officially single, but I don't see any way that Ridley didn't recover that. It took that good bounce, and ideally what you need there is just one guy to be there to hit Ridley, and then you can get the ball if you're Shepherd, but nobody was there really quick enough for him to, and he did a great job of coming down and securing it with his body, too.
And what you do to counter that on the offensive side of the ball, on the receiving side of the ball, is that you have frontline guys, and their job is you don't go for the ball, you go for the block, and you let those guys behind you make the catch. So good discipline up front that time by IUP, and Ridley able to secure the ball and get possession for the Crimson Hawks and give them a really good opportunity to come away with a win in today's PSAC championship.
Minute 46 to go. One timeout for Shepherd. It is raining, so anything crazy could happen here. And even the center QB exchange is extremely important here. They'll hand it off to Hauser. Shepherd trying to rip it out, but he gets it down to about the 49-yard line. Clock will continue to roll now. Shepherd will actually use that timeout now with a minute 41 to go. So I think Shepherd can get it back, but probably not a whole lot of time here. I'm not a mathematician, Travis. So
it won't be a lot of time on the clock, not at all. I think the danger right now for that Shepherd defense, of course, you want to try to punch that ball out, but what you don't want to do is miss the tackle trying to punch the ball out, and then IUP can get a first down, and then it's.
I think it would be about 30 seconds or so. 40 seconds potentially. I mean,
I don't know. With the way they've been working the clocks, who knows how much time will be left on the clock by the time Shepherd.
For all we know, the clock on the scoreboard isn't even the real clock.
Yes.
For all we know.
It's there for ceremonial purposes.
It's there to give you hope. 1:41 left. Shepherd trails by 3. Just used its final timeout. First, you got to stop IUP from getting a first down. That's your number one concern right now if you're the Rams. We'll go Hauser off the left side. He cuts it back. Holloway can't make the tackle. It's a first down and more for Hauser, and he will smartly go down inside the 10-yard line. And that pretty much seals it. IUP is going to capture the PSAC championship. And we've seen Hauser do that all day, Travis. He's been able to find those cutback lanes. And just an excellent performance from him in relief of DeJour Stewart, who got injured earlier, but Hauser hasn't missed a beat, and he's been tremendous in there. That vision, Shepherd really sold out on the run. They have an injury here, and he was just able to cut it back and find that lane.
You certainly see why IUP went out to recruit Hauser. He is a natural zone runner, does a good job of pressing the hole. Once that defense commits to one side, he's able to put his foot in the ground, makes one move, gets vertical. Did a good job of getting north and south today. He even looks a little banged up himself, but he wasn't going to miss this opportunity. And DeJour Stewart, you better not stay on the sidelines too long, because if he's showing up this big in this type of game,
against this team,
it's going to be hard to find a reason to take him off the field.
So IUP can just take a few knees, and they will win the PSAC. As we do have an injury here at midfield, I'm not certain who the player is for Shepherd, but it doesn't look too good. I think it might have been Solomon. Yeah, it is Solomon Alexander. I thought I saw a 0 down there on the field. And they will have Alexander get helped off of a teammate as well. But 24-21 IUP. They last won the PSAC in 2017, so it's been a little bit. But it looks like they're going to get this one. The only thing, again, like we said, in the rain, with a wet football, the center quarterback exchange could still be very important. But that would be an absolute miracle.
It would be, because the bounces have just not gone Shepherd's way.
Yeah, and they went the way for Shepherd in the last rain game against Shippensburg. He had about 2 or 3 fumbles that you recovered offensively in that game. You were able to haul in a lot of catches in that game as well. Just hasn't worked out that way for Shepherd. I mean, a little bit more rain here, I think, might have played a factor, but IUP, like you said earlier, Travis, they played in the same field conditions and found a way. And I think, again, Shepherd's going to go back and maybe think about what if we maybe ran the ball a little bit more in that first half to keep things consistent there. Because the holes were there late, but maybe that's because IUP was so set up for the pass. I don't know, but there's a lot to reflect on. Sexton takes the knee. That will roll it down to about 20 seconds. Has to do it one more time, and then IUP is going to win the PSAC. Shepherd finally won the East, but couldn't quite win it all. And there's a kneel down from Sexton, and IUP is your 2022 Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference champions for the first time since 2017. Shepherd comes up just short of a PSAC championship, trying to be the first team from outside of the state of Pennsylvania to win it. But congrats to IUP, and the season not over, though, Travis. We will still have playoffs next week, but probably that first-round bye, you can wave that one away because that's going to go to IUP.
Absolutely, and if you want to look at it glass half full, now there's a little bit of pressure taken off of Shepherd because now they don't have the weight of that undefeated record weighing down on them.
The loss ends the undefeated season. We'll take a 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, we'll have the Palace Lounge post-game show. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV. On YouTube, we're back in 2 minutes.
This is Ben Copenhaver, your local alarm professional at Dynamark Atlantic Security. Did you know that home break-ins are 6% more likely during the day? That's right. The bad guys know when you're away, and they are smarter than you think. Dynamark Atlantic Security has the security solutions for you. Don't commit the error when the game is on the line. Phone me today at 304-671-2158 to learn how to play good defense against the bad guys. Dynamark Atlantic Security. Call today at 304-671-2158.
Hi, I'm Annette McDonald, and I am the designer at Orsini's in Martinsburg, West Virginia. We welcome you into our store to show you a complete line of what we do here. We design your cabinetry, quartz countertops, granite countertops, hardware, anything for the full remodel of your kitchen and your home needs. We also do bathrooms, and we have flooring available too. We make sure that your project with Orsini's is the best in the market. Welcome to Orsini's. Orsini's.com.
It's the post-game show as we recap the scoring, bring you stats and analysis, scores from around the PSAC and Super Region 1, the Division I Top 25, and the latest on the West Virginia University Mountaineers and Marshall University Thundering Herd. Let's get it started as we go back to the field and rejoin our TV 10 broadcast team.
Palace Lounge post-game show. Nick Verzolini alongside me is Travis Smith. Spencer Dupuy, our on-site producer. Braden Schaffner, our cameraman. And back in the studio, Colin McLaughlin. We will get into the Palace Lounge post-game show. Brought to you by the Palace Lounge, located on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg. With a full lunch and dinner menu with daily specials and a clean, comfortable atmosphere, check out the menu on the Palace Lounge Facebook page. As Travis Shepherd falls in this one, 24-21. There's a lot to discuss, I think, after this one. First of all, the season is not over, so Shepherd will be back for the playoffs next week. You do lose the PSAC. I know that doesn't leave you with the best feeling, And the other thing is that bye is probably gone. Now, the PSAC is almost like the SEC of Division II, right? Or at least of Region 1. And if you win the PSAC, you're getting number 1. It's like if you win the SEC, doesn't matter what anybody else did, especially in a year where nobody's undefeated, other than Shepherd until today. You're getting number 1. So IUP probably gets that 1 spot. Shepherd may get the 2 or the 3. But at the end of the day, they're going to be at home next week for playoffs, most likely. I mean, we'll update you on the sports mix when it's official because Shepherd was undefeated coming in, so I guess there was a small chance that they could still be number 1. But if you lose your conference championship to a team with 1 loss in IUP, it's hard to imagine them not getting it. But again, let's go over some post-game stats. We'll get into the rewards, and we'll kind of get some maybe thoughts on this one as well. But the post-game stats are brought to you by Bechtel Jewelers, West Virginia's largest Pandora retailer on Route 11 South Inwood, taking care of you like nobody's business. All right, we'll start with the victorious Indiana University, Pennsylvania Crimson Hawks. Adam Hauser, 21 carries, 142 yards, no touchdowns, which is kind of surprising. DeJour Stewart, 8 carries for 38 yards. Daniel Debner, 5 catches, 51 yards, and a touchdown. Grant Smith, 4 catches, 44 yards, no scores. Ridley, 3 catches, 29 yards, no scores. And Langley, 2 catches for 9 yards and a touchdown. So some crazy stuff of IUP. One, they lose their starting running back, DeJour Stewart. Number 2, Dwayne Brown was out. Osa Carter, I believe, was out as well. We didn't see him out there on the field either. So they were down 2 receivers, their number 1 running back after the first or second drive, and still get the win over Shepherd. I think that shows how good of a team Shepherd played today and why you shouldn't be ashamed by losing this football game if you're the Rams.
No, not at all. Like we mentioned, that game last year, it was pretty much a nip-and-tuck game, but Shepherd was able to have a huge third quarter, and that proved to be the difference in the ball game. You look at tonight's game, Shepherd wasn't able to summon that same kind of magic in the second half. You can blame it on the weather, but a lot of times it came down to execution, and just IUP was able to make plays where the Shepherd Rams weren't able to make plays.
For the Rams, Bagent throws the ball 50 times in a loss. Something we kind of highlighted during the games. 304 yards, 2 touchdowns, but 2 picks. You only ran the ball 8 times with your running back. Bagent only had 1 design run. So in total, you ran the ball 9 times when you look at designed runs. Bagent runs 5 times for 21 yards total. Ronnie Brown, 8 carries, 32 yards. That's a huge reason why I think Shepherd lost today, because they didn't quite get that balance that they were looking for against a good football team. That's tough. 32 yards rushing from your running back that's been so good for you all year. 1 touchdown for Ronnie Brown. Marlon Cook, 7 catches, 99 yards. Brian Walker, 6 for 69 yards. Ronnie Brown, 5 for 37 yards. Rodney Dorsey, 4 for 28 yards. Not having Ryan Beach certainly didn't help, but the Rams, they struggled to catch the football in space. A lot of that's what led to those 2 interceptions. Well, one was a misran route, but the other interception was off the hands of Dorsey. And then the defensive stats, Grantham 10 tackles, 8 for Lynch, 8 for Pena, and 6 for Keyshawn Haley. So IUP runs the ball for 169 yards on the day, Shepherd for 53. Big difference in this one, as IUP gets the win, gets the PSAC championship. And Travis, quickly, I guess just your final thoughts on this one, and then we'll get into the awards.
You mentioned it as far as the running game. The Rams, 13 carries so far today. You look over IUP, 35 carries today. And you want to look at an offensive game plan that was appropriate for the type of weather and conditions that you were facing, it's IUP. You don't make it harder on yourself by trying to play against Mother Nature. Run the ball. You have the talent in the backfield. Blake Hartman didn't even run the ball today. Right. You have 2 good running backs.
Yeah, you're right. He
let him run. Yeah, he caught a pass. Let him run the ball. So IUP, hats off to them. They played a hell of a game.
Yeah, and they are the PSAC champs. Again, Shepherd just comes up short, 24-21 loss. But we will have their playoff game unless Martinsburg were to play on a Saturday. But let's run down these awards, Travis, and then we will start to make our way out of Indiana, Pennsylvania. We'll start with the electrifying play of the game. Brought to you by Orsini's Home Store, not just an appliance store any longer. They're located at 360 Hack Wilson Way in Martinsburg or online at orsinis.com. What did you got?
For electrifying play of the game, it's going to go to Daniel Diebner with a 14-yard touchdown catch in the third quarter. Again, they had him isolated out there on the island. It was a good throw, but he did a good job to go up and catch it in traffic. That's my electrifying play of the game.
That's a good choice there, Travis. And our collision of the game brought to you by Cody's Body Shop at 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg. Family-owned, offering superior customer service and great pricing for a job done by experienced certified technicians. Call 304-901-4777 or visit their Facebook page. Travis, what do you got for the collision of the game?
Well, my collision of the game has to go to Keyshawn Haley. It was on Shepherd when they went for the squib kick and had a chance to make a play. And the reason they had a chance to recover that ball was because Keyshawn Haley flew down the field and delivered a big hit on the return team. Unfortunately for the Rams, not able to recover that ball.
And I think for the first time this season, we'll have a Bodwell Insurance Solutions player of the game go to the opponent of Shepherd, as this is brought to you by Bodwell Insurance Solutions, a local professional to help you with all of your Medicare needs. Go to BodwellInsuranceSolutions.com or call Jonathan Bodwell at 304-283-0864. Travis, I think there's a pretty good choice that I would make, and you probably made as well.
I think we are both in agreement. Play of the game is going to go to IUP running back Adam Hauser, 21 carries, 142 yards, averaging 6.8 yards per carry. And most importantly, he had 0 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Why is that important? He had a chance at the very end of the game to run it in. He didn't make the selfish play. He made the smart team play for the win. Takes a knee down inside the red zone so his team can run out the clock. That's a smart, football-savvy move. Adam Hauser gets my player of the game. He stepped up. The teammate went down. He filled in, and offense didn't miss a beat, and he practically carried the team today.
Yes, Saquon Barkley did the same thing against the Ravens, and if you have him on your fantasy team, you hate it. But if you're a Giants fan, or in this case an IUP fan, it's like, hey, you got to go down and secure the win, and that's what he did. Smart play instead of the selfish play. Once again, your final score, IUP gets the win, 24-21. We'll be back on Monday with the Sports Mix, where we'll probably have a better idea of, well, we will know at that point, where Shepherd or who Shepherd is playing, and if it is this week or if they do somehow end up with the bye still, but probably not. And then also we'll know more about the high school schedule. But Jefferson got a win today, Travis. Your Cougars upset Spring Valley. So the EPAC has 3 out of its 4 teams in the playoffs still alive, unfortunately. Hedgesville lost today, but a 16 taking on a 1 is always very difficult. So Monday we'll have kind of an update on our schedule, but for Braden Schaffner, Colin McLaughlin, Spencer Dupuis, Travis Smith, I'm Nick Verzolini saying so long from George P. Miller Stadium. Colin is next on the other side of this break with the post-game scoreboard show.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve. That's what we mean by treating you like family.
Located at 4529 Shepherdstown Road in Martinsburg, the Neon Moon Tavern has delicious food and cold beverages. Stop on in Mondays for some mayhem with us and Shepherd quarterback Tyson Bagent, or on Tuesday for some gourmet tacos. Wednesdays is whiskey and trivia night. Thursday is steak night. Fridays are dinner specials. Saturdays there's live music. And Sunday morning is brunch. We're open every day from 11 a.m. to 3 a.m. Call us at 304-260-4002 for takeout or stop on in to the Neon Moon Tavern. Welcome into the post-game scoreboard show for TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. I'm Colin McLaughlin, and unfortunately, your Shepherd Rams fall in the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference Championship by a final score of 24-21. IUP gets the win and is your PSAC champions, and Shepherd's undefeated season also comes to an end. They are now 10-1. IUP improves to 9-1 overall with the win. And let's look at some scores from around the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference now, if I can quickly pull them up. Or first I'll go into some... Nope, here we go. My apologies. It was Westchester getting the win, 36-27. Lockhaven losing to Edinburgh 26-13 earlier today. Millersville got a 14-10 win over Seton Hill. And Shippensburg upset Gannon, which I'll talk a little bit more about later on because that might shake things up next week in the playoffs. That one was a 35-28 win for Shippensburg. Cal U got a 31-7 win over East Stroudsburg. Kutztown upset Slippery Rock 23-21 as well. Those are your PSAC scores. And if you look at the region rankings, because even though Shepherd lost today, for those that might not be aware, because I know just looking at the YouTube comments there was a lot of confusion, the season is not over. This was still, even though it's the conference championship, technically a regular season game. At least when you looked at the schedule, this was originally supposed to be Mercyhurst that Shepherd played, unless you advance to the conference championship, then they move things around. So Shepherd made it here, unfortunately lost to IUP, which means 3 teams that are fighting for playoff spots lost. Shepherd being the number 1 team in the region, now 10-1. IUP getting the win. Could we see them move up to number 1? We'll know tomorrow for Selection Sunday. Not sure what time these selections are announced, but definitely tune into NCAA.com for the D2 region rankings tomorrow to see who is what rank and where they play, because the top 7 teams make it and the 1 seed gets the bye. So Shepherd, with the loss today, most likely won't have a bye, meaning that they'll play next week. But does Assumption, who got a big win today against Post University 65-21 to improve to 8-1, just move 1 spot up, or does IUP jump them now with the conference championship? It'll be interesting, but with Slippery Rock losing at that 5th spot, and now Gannon also losing, who was at that 7th and final spot, that might have knocked them out of the playoffs. So, again, tomorrow, tune in to Selection Sunday to see the NCAA Division II bracket come out for the playoffs that start next week, in which Shepherd most likely won't be the 1 seed, meaning no bye, which means Shepherd Ram football next week for you on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube, hopefully. Let's now get some final scores in NCAA Division I football. The West Virginia Mountaineers beat the Oklahoma Sooners for the first time as a member of the Big 12 by a final score of 23-20. It was a walk-off field goal by Casey Legg to get the win for the Mountaineers. Currently in action, the Marshall Thundering Herd lead Appalachian State 28-14 with 2:55 to go in the 3rd quarter. Now let's get some top 25 scores, and we'll start off with the games that already went final. Number 2, Ohio State got the win against Indiana 56-14. Number 5, Tennessee beat Missouri 66-24. Number 7, LSU got a 13-10 win over Arkansas. Number 20 Notre Dame beat Navy 35-32. Purdue upset number 21 Illinois 31-24. And Vanderbilt upset number 24 Kentucky 24-21. Top 25 games currently in action at the end of the third quarter. It's number 3 Michigan on top of Nebraska 24-3. We're all tied between number 9 Alabama and number 11 Ole Miss, now at 24 apiece with 1:23 to go in the third quarter, as Ole Miss trying to keep its playoff berth alive. I mean, they could potentially make it if they could win out. Maybe. We'd have to wait and see. Probably not. Alabama now eliminated with LSU's win from a conference championship and already having 2 losses, both the Tennessee and LSU out of the playoffs, but trying to play spoiler to Ole Miss and give Ole Miss the second loss of the year. Looking now at number 10 Clemson and Louisville, 24-10 Clemson in the lead with 13:20 to go in the fourth, 3:38 to go in the third. Number 14 Penn State controlling Maryland very easily. It is 30-0 there in Happy Valley. Started the fourth quarter, it's number 16 NC State leading Boston College 20-14. Number 22 UCF on top of number 17 Tulane 31-17. And then kicking off later tonight at 7 p.m. it's number 1 Georgia against Mississippi State. Number 25 Washington at number 6 Oregon. Number 7 Kansas State at Baylor. And at 7:30 it's number 4 TCU at number 18 Texas. Number 15, North Carolina at Wake Forest. And then at 8 p.m., it is number 23, Florida State at Syracuse. And then at 10 p.m., it's Stanford at number 13, Utah. And at 10:30, it's Arizona at number 12, UCLA. Again, now let's move to high school football scores in Class AAA for the weekend as the playoffs are underway in the Mountain State. Number 1 Parkersburg South beat number 16 Hedgesville 78-12. Number 2 Huntington beat Woodrow Wilson yesterday 62-22. Martinsburg got the 42-14 win yesterday as well over Morgantown. Hurricane yesterday beat University 56-13. George Washington beat Princeton 31-28 yesterday. And kicking off at 7:30 today, it's Cabell Midland at number 6 Bridgeport. Jefferson got the upset over Spring Valley 34-14 today to survive. And Thursday, it was Musselman getting the 28-23 win over Wheeling Park. So that means Musselman, as the 8th seed, will take on number 1 Parkersburg South next week. Number 10 Jefferson will play number 2 Huntington. And number 3 Martinsburg is waiting for the winner of Cabell Midland and Bridgeport tonight. And we'll also learn tomorrow what day and time that game is played, and you got to hope that it does not conflict with the Shepherd Rams game so that we can have both games for you. Last but not least, let's now look at college basketball. Earlier, Frostburg getting the 81-61 win over Shepherd in women's basketball, and going on as we speak, it's men's basketball for Shepherd Rams, and they are trying to get this score, unless it's not tipped off yet. It was supposed to tip off at 6, but due to it being the Atlantic Region crossover tournament, might be behind schedule, but Shepherd is taking on Wheeling and fortunately cannot get that score up. But if you want to tune into it, all you have to do is go to Shepherd's athletic website and click on the watch link, and it'll send you to West Liberty's mountaineast.tv/westlib is where that game is streamed. But I'll sign off now. Everybody have a good night, and if you're tuned in and traveling back from IUP, have a safe trip. Again, IUP 24, Shepherd 21, and the Rams fall in the conference championship.
You've been watching play-by-play coverage of NCAA Division II football, featuring the Shepherd University Rams and the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Today's telecast has been brought to you by the Neon Moon Tavern, Orsini's Home Store, Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, the Skinner Law Firm, Smallwood & Small Insurance Group, W. Harley Miller Systems, and WVU Medicine. TV 10 Sports thanks you for watching today's presentation of Shepherd